And we are back with a brand new edition. Happy Saturday, whether you're hailing from TikTok or YouTube. Happy weekend. I did not introduce myself, that's rude. My name is Jen, I'm your manifestation bestie, where I teach you how to leverage the law of assumption to work in your favor. I already know that sounds good to you, so click that follow button, subscribe button, wherever you're watching from. Also, if you want me to manifest for you, I moved it, guys. If you want me to manifest for you, or you want one-on-one coaching with me so we can figure out where you're going wrong so you can get your shit right and we can get your recipes conforming like, today, then go ahead. All links are in the bio. Our description, again, if you're on YouTube, it's in the description. Also, I have a live event coming up April 4th where I am going to help you release your negative emotions so you're no longer stuck in your own damn way when it comes to all the shit, because we're going to talk about that today. Okay, I really want you guys to let those emotions go, release those negative emotions so you don't have resentment, anger, sadness, hurt, fear, guilt, none of that shit that is affecting your relationships. Okay, we don't want that. Hey besties, I love all of you so much. Okay, also, I have a free WhatsApp community. If you want to get in on the action, it is free as of today, but most likely not as of tomorrow. I know I've been saying that, but I'm actually serious. Because you guys can see all of the success, all of the movements that people are having. Don't take my word for it. It's all in the freaking WhatsApp community. Since I've been doing this for less than 60 days. Yeah, we have, of course he came to see you yesterday, Paige girl. Okay, you can see that there's all this movement, right? I've been doing it for less than 60 days since I've been teaching it. I manifested my SP back from no contact, fully living with me in a matter of 4 weeks. I'm here to help you do the same. Okay, oh, and I go live every single day. Hey, Yesenia. I do go live every single day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. If you ever miss a live, I always upload them on the tube of you. So links are all in the bio again. And so go there, watch them. They're long. Mute the volume. Help me get my watch hours up so that we can help more people understand that they're in control. And it's all about leveraging the law, because who decided you had to follow the rules of the law when you can make them work for you? Obviously, ethically. So, Kelly, check how you're looking at your SP versus the ones that are showing up. Because oftentimes your description of your SP is different than, that's always great, Yesenia. Keep going, bitch. Keep going. Keep going. It's always good to see that, okay? Because you guys are supposed to use movement as like positive shit, right? Like, hey, what's your bad news, Brittany? What is your bad news? Well, then you know what to do. We're going to banish gutter trash away. Okay? That's not bad news. Just banish her away. He obviously is texting you good morning. Hey, Ashley, bestie. Okay, so there's no problem. Banish her. Bye. Like, bye. I did. Let me tell you, your SPs are hot. Just let you know that. I can see why you're manifesting your SP back. But I will tell you that, thanks, Pa. I will tell you that, I manifested my SP back because he was the one. You could manifest any SP, right, at all. But, hey, Nipu, but why this SP, right? Why this one? What is it about this one? I did, Kelly. Okay, you need to ask yourself that, because we can manifest anything. We can manifest somebody whole ass new if we wanted to. Hey, Wendy girlfriend. But why this SP? What is it about this one? For me, my answer was super simple. It was like, because he is totally different than anybody I've ever dated. So I was not about to let the good one go. I'm only getting younger in looks. So I've dated a lot of people in my past. And so no, I have no desire to change any of them. I'd rather have my SP because he's perfect for me. And so I know it's for you guys too, but y'all need to get out your own way. I don't even know what to say to my SP. TBH, what's TBH? I don't know acronyms. I don't. TVH. Oh, to be honest. Thanks. Thanks. Okay. Now we can go back and read this. I don't even know what to say to my SP. To be honest, he texted me a week ago. Bliss. Okay, so he texted you a week ago and you haven't fucking messaged him back? That doesn't make any sense. For what? What do you mean you don't know what to say? If you don't know what to say, then go ahead and shoot me his fucking message and let me take a look at it. And I'll help you say what to say. Okay? Hey, Taylor, my girlfriend. It is. You see, you guys know, you guys have to understand that every boyfriend, every SP you've ever had, you manifested. Okay? Every single one of them. So, and you manifested based on what it is that you liked at the time, right? But now we're learning to control it. So I don't know where you guys have doubts creeping in. Hey, Brandy girlfriend. Where you have doubts creeping in, where you're questioning shit all the time, you're focused on the time, like all that stuff. For what? For what? I just feel like I said, I over-explained it too much. And all I got was, I hope you're doing well. Okay, so keep it. Bliss, you need to stop justifying and explaining shit, okay? You need to stop communicating 100%, okay? I mean communicating at 100%. Like, let's communicate at, 40%, okay? Where it's like, yeah, hope you're doing well. Okay, I remember this conversation. Right. You kept telling yourself that he was annoyed by you or irritated by you. Based on your last discussion, like, okay, I remember this one. And so you think he's irritated, you thought he was irritated, so his response was, hope you're doing well. Keep it casual. Stop forcing the 3D by over-explaining yourself, by doing all that. Why can't you just be like, I hope you have a good day too. Hey, I hope you're having a good weekend. Keep it casual. There's no need for you to grovel, convince, plead your case. For what? I keep fucking telling you guys, it's all done here. Everything's done here. But yet you'll be like, it's been 4 days. It's been 3 days. It's been 2 days. Hey, Mary. That's exactly what somebody else did. Why not? Why not? To boost your ego, but also to prove your power. Okay, but also to prove your power. You guys seem to have so much resistance when it comes to your SP, and I don't get it. And it's like, you either want them or you don't. Okay, I know it's easy to give meaning to things. I know, well, no, I don't. I mean, although I will tell you, I think I manifested a Costco, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. We have 2 Costcos within 15 miles of us, okay? But who wouldn't want a Costco moving in 1 mile away? Yeah, Costco's coming around the corner from my ass, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Shrimp cocktail, they have the best shrimp cocktail. Shrimp cocktail all the damn time. I'm so excited about It's the little things in life that excite me. Hey, Nadine. But you guys have to internalize everything, okay? You have to stop reacting to things because you know what? Like, you need to give meaning to everything that you want it to mean because you know what? The turnaround happens real fast. You cannot screw things up unless you tell yourself that. But the turnaround, even if it slips back because you reacted or you wavered or something like that, doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. If you will persist within 24 to 48 hours, you're right back on track. Nothing changed. Hey, SRM. Okay, nothing fucking changed. That's what you guys need to realize. Hey, Shanae. I hope you're fucking keeping yourself in check, bitch. Are you serious right now? Shanae, you need to stop. Seriously. You need to stop and you need to persist in your mind. You're forcing the 3D a lot, okay? So let it play out, but keep playing it over and over and over again. Yeah, Jiminy, let me screen. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay, now I screenshot it so I can remind myself to create the hypnosis session for you guys. Intake form. Okay, Sinead, what do you mean he ended it? I hope not with you. I hope that's not what the fuck you're implying. Janelle, I understand, but I don't need to repent for my sins. I'm not a sinner. Well, that's not true. But I don't need to repent. I'm good. I know you did. You need to sit back and let the shit play out. You need to let it play out like perfectly. Okay? Because you are like 1 millisecond away from having your full manifestation. You need to knock the shit off. Okay? And let him do what he needs to do. And you're going to tell him what he's going to be doing and how quickly he's going to do it. Fucking here. Not here. Okay? Y'all need to stop doing that shit. Claudia, SP hung up on his ex and won't commit to me or be consistent. Okay. So SP hung up on you, on his ex. So I'm guessing that's gutter trash that you're referring to, right, Claudia? The only reason he's not consistent or won't commit to you is because you don't think he will. Because you're listening to don't worry, you're not alone. This seems to be like the golden trend, is you're listening to what the fuck he's saying. Okay? You're letting what he says control the outcome and saying, well, he says that he doesn't want to commit. Okay. So yeah, that's right. He doesn't want to commit to anyone but me. Like, you need to assume commitment. Okay? Like, no, he's absolutely committed to me. Every day he shows me that he's loyal, faithful, and committed to me. That's what you need to tell yourself. You need to see him as the type of SP that is committed to you and only you, that only wants you, that will do anything to be with you right now, that absolutely wants to be in a relationship with you. And he is constantly showing up. Like he's constantly spending time with me. He is like very consistent when it comes to our relationship. When he makes plans, he sticks to it. You know, all of these things. I am the priority. I am the top priority in his life. You need to start telling yourself that, Claudia, because when you see him as that version, he must push it. He must push it out. He must reflect that back to you. If you see him, if you would assume commitment, he has to assume the same. That's how that works. That's how we leverage the law, is we leverage everyone as you pushed out. So if I control his thoughts 100% of the time, then if I think committed relationship, then what does he have to think? Committed relationship, right? And so before you know it, he'll start to talk about your relationship. He'll start to talk to you he'll start to talk about you to his family, to his friends. He'll start referring to you as his girl. All of those things, all because you assumed relationship. You assumed committed relationship. And he has to push that out. If you assume that he's inconsistent, he has to stay inconsistent. He doesn't have a choice. And usually this always stems from one time. One time they break plans, or one time they say they're going to come over and then they say they're not coming. And then the next time they say they're coming over, you're questioning the shit because they said it one fucking time and broke the plans. So now the next time you're questioning it again. Now what happens? Now he breaks the plans again. And it's a whole ass pattern, because the more he breaks those plans, the more it validates to you that he's inconsistent. So therefore he has to continue to be inconsistent, versus if he breaks the plans, cool. Well, you know what? Now I got a couple hours to robotically affirm that no, absolutely not. I'm his only priority. Like, he will do anything. He never breaks plans. I'm his top priority. He'll do anything. We're going to commit a relationship. He's the perfect boyfriend. That's what I'd be affirming the whole time, because you're going to see the turnaround real quick. All of a sudden, he's no longer breaking plans. All of a sudden, he's following through every fucking time for you. Okay, but you can't listen to what he's saying, because he's only reflecting what you think. Okay, so if you don't think he wants commitment, if you're questioning whether he wants to be in a relationship with you, whether he wants to commit to you, he has no choice but to reflect that instead. So instead, we want to flip that around and say, nope, I don't think so. He absolutely is committed to me. We have the best relationship. And he will reflect that over and over and over again. But the key word here is to persist in new version of SP, the one who's committed to you. Okay? Can I ask how, when I manifested, only half of what I manifested happened? Calves, I would have to know what you were manifesting to only get half. Typically, why that happens is that you got the half and then you wavered on the rest. So therefore, it didn't conform, right? It didn't push out. So you got partially what you wanted, but not all of what you wanted. And that's because that was me. That was me. On the very last step of my full manifestation, I wavered. So if I would have just stopped, then it would have never came. But instead, I persisted and made the decision not to waver. And I pushed through and then got the full manifestation in 72 hours. So that's typically the only reason why you only got half of it. You only got half of it, okay? Well, Dab, that's a good question. Okay. So signs that your manifestation is close, that they call it birds before land. Really, I think that's a silly term, but anyway. There is no sign. It's whatever you assume a sign is, okay? So there's no science, there's no study to show, right? Because there's no such thing as facts in the world. So who the hell decided 222 was a sign? Some spiritual advisor. Now, who decided 888 was a sign? Another spiritual advisor. You know, they're just trying to tell you, here's the top signs. There's no proof that that shit is real. Okay? Like, oh, so you're telling me that if I don't see an eagle, my shit ain't coming? If I don't see 222 everywhere, then my shit ain't coming? That's fucking stupid. So instead, for me, everything was a sign. Everything was a sign. You create your own signs, right? This is, again, where we leverage the law. Is, okay, I'm going to create my own signs. Everything's a fucking sign. You know, every time I see his car, doesn't have to be his color, but it could be the model of his car. That's a sign that my manifestation's here, that he's coming to see me, that he's going to call and text me, you know, or he's thinking about me, right? If I saw, every time, even now when I see butterflies, every time I saw a butterfly, that was a goddamn sign. Oh yeah, he's thinking about me. Oh, and if I saw 2 butterflies, oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's here. It's fucking here. It's happening. Every time I saw 2 of anything, oh, that was me and him. Oh, yep, it's happening. It's here. My manifestation is here, right? Like that's what I would assign everything a sign. Everything was a fucking sign. If I saw a falcon, oh, that's a sign. He's thinking about me. Oh, 2 falcons. Oh yeah, my manifestation's here. Everything. So you create your own signs. You can literally have a rose bush sitting out in front of your house and be like, every time I see a rose, that's a sign. And therefore, you'll notice that when you apply your own signs as meanings, you will start. What happens is if you say, every time I see, let's say he drives a Honda Accord. Every time I see a Honda Accord, like that's a sign that my manifestation is here. Okay? If you were to tell yourself that, what happens is you activate the RAS part of your subconscious mind, okay? The reticular activator system. So what it does is it starts scanning your surroundings for exactly those things. So therefore, you'll notice that you will start to see more of them and more of them and more of them, right? I see butterflies all the freaking time. I see falcons all the freaking time. All of these things I would see all the time because those were my signs, right? So it starts to, all of a sudden, it's like they just came out of nowhere, but they've been there the whole damn time. Okay, but now you start to see more of them because your RAS is activated and constantly scanning for those. So you'll start to notice more and more of them show up. Okay, so I don't ever teach, I teach realistic advice here. I don't teach, bullshit. And the law of attraction people are the ones that love to tell you about your signs. And here's the top 9 signs that your manifestation is here. And if you have 3 out of 9 of these signs, Well, they had me driving all down, like I would intentionally go driving down the street, and I hoped, I wanted to sit at stoplights, because therefore I could look at all the goddamn license plate numbers, seeing if I see his initials, if I see triple digits. That shit is fucking stupid. That shit is stupid. Okay? And that's when I realized we create our own signs. Who the hell, where's the sign? Show me the proof that's a thing. That angel numbers are a thing. The only people talking about them are spiritual people. That's it. There's no actual proof of any of that shit. So, if that's the case, then I will create my own. I will create my own signs. I talk about that all the time. Everything is a goddamn sign. I don't care. You see a bird. Oh, every time I see a bird, that's my sign, right? You will start to notice that you'll see more of them, okay? You'll start to see more signs the more you just say, yep, that's my sign. That's my sign. I even smile now when butterflies fly by. Personally, I love butterflies, but somebody said they're scared of butterflies. I was like, what? I think they're beautiful. But even now, like I was walking outside and I saw a bunch of butterflies, or a couple butterflies, should I say, and I still smile because I was like, yeah, that's my sign. That's my sign. Because you're always manifesting. So that's my sign that my manifestation shit is here. That's right, Jimmy. You don't want to get stuck in the vortex of techniques. Okay, because when you get stuck in the vortex, because that's what law of attraction does, is they teach you technique after technique after technique after technique after technique. And the problem with that is when you get stuck in the vortex of techniques, then that's like saying, if I don't get all my techniques in, the shit ain't coming, right? It's not working, so I need another technique. Oh, that's not working either, so I need another technique. Versus if you would drop all the techniques and say, no, I am the fucking technique. I am what works. Then that's the power. And then doing, what I tell you to do, that's also the power. Somebody asked, what the fuck did she ask? It'll come to me when she asked. Oh yeah, she asked, is it okay to think about your future with your SP? Like living with him and so forth. I said, yes. There's nothing wrong with thinking about your future plans with your SP. But if you can't stick in a lane of he's going to text me every day, do not live in the end of living together. Right? Because you can't live in the end of living together when you can't even get a grip around seeing your SP, or when you can't get a grip around, or be delusional getting a text from your fucking SP. When you can't do that shit, how the hell are you going to live in the end of living together? That doesn't make sense, right? So still, yes, you can think about the future with you and your SP, but I still recommend that you manifest in steps, because we need to get you over the fucking first hurdle before we're off to the races of living together, right? Because if I would have done that, I don't know what the outcome of my stuff would have been, because it was far different than what I was currently experiencing. So instead, that's where manifesting in steps, I found it worked really, really fast. Thanks, Kim Fans Girl. And if I have to remind you, I don't know if I've ever said this, I've never manifested an SP back before. Never. So it's not like I'm an expert at, I've manifested 10 SPs back. No. One, the one I'm with now, right? The love of my life. That's who I've manifested back. Only one time. Thanks, Kim Fines Girl. So if I could do it, and this is the first time I've ever done it, and this will be the last time I've ever done it, because I'm manifesting, moving, escalating with my boyfriend. Not someone new. So, this is going to be my lifetime partner. So it's like, if I could do it in 4 weeks, what the fuck is your problem? What is your problem? When my circumstances were far worse than most of your guys' fucking circumstances. Y'all get triggered on some social media bullshit. I had to live one building away. And I did not recluse myself into the home. I did for the first several months, because I was doing that law of attraction shit, right? I didn't have time to go out because I was doing visualization techniques. I would literally be at the pool fucking visualizing, all that shit. So if I could live one building away and not fucking spiral and waver and react like it's going out of style, let's not say I'm not some master ass bitch where I didn't waver. Obviously, I told you guys I wavered on the last step, right? But I discipline myself. I don't let myself spiral. I did at first because I didn't know any better. Okay, but you guys do know better now. I never let my shit spiral. Stop doing that. When you live in the end for a year, how do you get confidence? It will happen. Georgie, that's because living in the end doesn't work. It doesn't work for everybody. It's really easy to live in the end of marriage if you're in a relationship with a dude, you know, but if you're not, then that's why people have been attempting to manifest their SPs back for a year, 2 years, and so forth, because they've been doing nothing but living in the end of marriage, because that's what all these people tell you should do, is just live in the end. Okay, well, why don't you live in the end of text message first, of contact? And then when you get contact, then live in the end of seeing him. Then when you start to spend a lot of time together, now live in the end of relationship, right? It's a lot easier to do that. Okay, so that's where you have to shift to the confidence of it will happen now, because I'm not going to live in the end of marriage anymore. I'm going to live in the end, because I did that too. I visualized a little short wedding clip or whatever when we were in no contact. That doesn't make any, that was very difficult. Okay, so instead, no, live in the end of the first step, and you'll have the confidence when you start seeing the movement, right? This is why I teach affirming, because you don't have to believe what you're necessarily saying. You just have to keep telling yourself something fucking different, something different. Yes, Claudia, you just repeat it to yourself. And when you find yourself thinking outside of perfect boyfriend because of what he said to you, then no, in your mind, no, he's the perfect boyfriend. He's absolutely committed to me. He's going to commit to me right now. Whatever you want to say, tell yourself that, especially if you are thinking of him outside of that. You must tell yourself that he's the perfect boyfriend. You do. You have to see him as that version for you. This is why it's not about affirming. Affirming is part of it, but a main part of how you manifest your SPs back are how you see them. For you. The specific affirmation doesn't matter as long as they're framed with movement involved. Okay, I don't like the ones where it's like, he's so obsessed with me. I'm all he can think about. He worships the ground that I walk on. He misses me so much. He thinks about me all the time. Okay, that's all that is a stalker, right? So a lot of your affirmations should have the words always, constantly, or every day, right? Because that creates the movement that you want. And then when you manifest in steps, they need to be said in the steps that you want them to be, right? So it's like for my affirmations where he is so obsessed with me, I'm all he ever thinks about. He's always calling and texting me. Step number 1, contact. The 2 that I said before that lead to contact. Then he's constantly spending time with me. Now that's the escalation in a relationship. Now we're spending time together. He'll do anything to be with me right now. That's relationship, right? So everything went in order of how your relationship would naturally progress. So based upon where you're at right now, your affirmations would be said in a way of wherever you're at now, moving forward in the steps. So if you're in a relationship, then it would be something like, he is so in love with me. He wants to live with me right now. Like, he's constantly talking about our future, right? So therefore, it's the next natural progression is love, living together, and then marriage, right? Things like that. Okay, Claudia, so you don't need him to apologize for shit. Okay, and feeling insane regret without you having to bring it up. What would he need to feel insane regret about, and what would he need to apologize for? Because you created all of it. Okay. If he only reflects your thoughts back to you and your opinion and your inner conversations and your description of him back to you, he doesn't have to apologize for shit. In fact, if you want an apology so bad and then look in the mirror and tell yourself you're sorry. Because you're the one that created it. You're always creating. All he's doing is pushing it out and reflecting back to you. So this is where I tell you guys, everything they do is feedback. It's feedback. Okay. You don't need, if you insist on an apology, you can tell yourself he's apologizing to me right now. He's apologizing to me right now. But that's giving him free will. If you are wanting him to apologize to you, it's like you're being a victim in your own reality. Okay. And you're like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. He owes me an apology. No, yeah, the fuck you did. Because you thought it here and he said it here. Okay, and now you're blaming him. But no, you're the one that had the thought, and he reflected that. He doesn't necessarily need to verbalize it word for word verbatim what you were thinking. Okay, but you wavered somewhere in your thought, he pushed it out, and you're mad at him. You shouldn't be mad at him. You should be, I don't even want to say mad at yourself, because don't beat yourself up over it, but you should self-reflect and say, no, this is me. I caused this. Okay, every day, most of the time that I go live here, I walk you through your relationship just so you can see the breakup. Okay, you can see what led to the breakup. But if you take the initial version of your SP and the SP that he was when you first met, and then take a look at the SP at the end, not the same version, not the same guy. And oftentimes you'll say that, like, I don't even recognize him anymore. He's not the man I fell in love with. Like, he's changed. Of course he has. Because every time you fucking argued, every time it always starts with a disagreement, then it turns into an argument because ladies can't shut the fuck up. Okay? And they want to keep verbally communicating their feelings and trying to get their point across and getting frustrated because they don't see their point. Right? And so every time you had a disagreement that turned into an argument, your version of him changed because you changed him. Because all you did was bitch about him. Every time the argument happened, you'd bitch to your mom, you'd bitch to your friends, you'd bitch in here. I can't believe he said that to me. I can't fucking believe what he said. I can't believe he did that. I can't believe, and you would bitch about him. Therefore, the version of him starts to change to match your bitch fest in your mind. And he now is that person that's constantly disrespecting you, that's constantly arguing with you, that's constantly mean to you, that just doesn't treat you right, because that's what you kept telling yourself every time you had an argument. You selected that version over and over and over again, and it seemingly progressively got worse. That causes the decline in a relationship. And then towards the end of your relationship, you sat there and said, are we good? Like, in your mind, you could have said this verbally too, but in your mind, usually you're questioning, like, I don't even recognize this guy anymore. Like, are we going to break up? Like, I don't know if we're good. I don't even know if he loves me anymore, if he cares about me. Does he even want to be with me? And then he reflects that. So it's all you. So you don't need him to feel insane regret or apologize. Because if you would select the version of your SP that you want him to be for you, guess what he might automatically do? Apologize. But if he doesn't, I wouldn't stress about it, because you have to understand you created it. And sometimes that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part. So I deleted an email address from an old partnership that I had on my phone. I didn't realize a lot of your contacts were stored under that email address. So now all I see are fucking phone numbers. So if you send me a message, can you just tell me your name and your TikTok name again? Because a lot of contacts were not, I didn't realize that until Flashy sent me a message yesterday, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And then I'm looking at the things and I'm like, oh, I know who this is. Why is her contact not saved? So I had to resave her. But Flashy, that killed me though. I was like, girl, you weren't specific enough. You weren't specific enough. She said he's coming to see me tonight. He came to see her mailbox. So he's coming to my house. He's coming to the fucking front door. I got a personal DM from chiropractor. 1 hour. 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 1 hour Of course he is, Brittany. Of course he is. So stay the path. Stay the path. Get a trash to go away. Get a trash to go away real fast. Because you don't have any back history with chiropractor. So stay the path. And she got her trash away. What do you want to seem to be true about gutter trash? And she has to push that out. Okay? Oh, and let's talk about this, because I noticed this in the WhatsApp group real quick before I get to the rest of you guys' comments. Let me tell you this. Okay, first of all, I tell you guys, I don't care who it is in their life, whether it's gutter trash, fucking family members, parents, besties, anybody in your SP's life, you cannot view them as controlling. I seen 3 people yesterday say, yeah, my wife's parents are controlling. Yeah, my boyfriend's parents are controlling. His mom is controlling. You cannot see them as controlling, because as long as you see anybody in his life as controlling, guess what they have to do? Control him. And guess what they have to do? SP. Allow themselves to be controlled. Even if it's clear as day, even if the writing is on the wall, that it's blatantly obvious that's what's going on, you can't see them that way. Just like you can't see anybody as being a manipulator in your SP's life either, because he has to continue to allow himself to be controlled and manipulated, because that's how you're describing the people in his life. So if you want, if you insist on describing them that way, then you may as well start leveraging that shit. And saying, yeah, they're so controlling, they cannot stop telling him how perfect we are together. Since you see them as controlling, you may as well leverage that, but stop talking shit about their family in a sense where you somehow think that's benefiting your manifestation. It is not. It is not. Because there's a couple things wrong with that. Is one, if you believe that that person you're referring to as controlling doesn't like you, do you see the problem there? If they don't like you and you think they're controlling, well, what do you think they're doing when it comes to your SP? Talking shit. Telling him that no, bad decision. Working against your ass. So you need to change the assumptions and the things that you're saying about the family members that they, love and respect. You need to change that. How you're describing them, because it's not going to help your manifestation at fucking all. So if you're fucking on here and you know who you are and you're saying that their parents are controlling, you better stop that shit, and you better stop it now, because it's going to backfire and it's going to hurt your manifestation, because in the same breath you're going to fucking bitch and complain and whine and moan and groan about why they're not conforming or why they conform but then pull back, because you view the people that they actually care about or that are in their lives in general as controlling and also don't like you. That's not good. That's not good. This is why parents and family members always love me, because I firmly believe, well, that I'm the best thing since sliced bread, obviously, but that everyone's families love me. Everybody loves me. Oh, thanks, Taylor. Yeah, I gotta read your shit. See, I don't have your numbers gone too. Like the conversations are there, but the numbers got deleted. I'm like, shit. So. Of course he only DMs you, Brittany. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Okay. Go DJ. That is because you are looking in the 3D to confirm. But you guys don't understand the I keep telling you this. The 3D, oh yeah, Brittany, yours actually was saved. Because sometimes I would remember to change the email, but I couldn't figure out how to change the primary, so I just deleted the other one. Not tech savvy. I'm proud of myself with this shit, let alone anything else. So go DJ, this is for all of you too. You guys, movement is supposed to motivate you, but you don't need to check the 3D for movement. You don't. I tell you all the time, you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors, so your job is not to question a goddamn thing. It is not to question anything. Anything at all. Because here's the thing. Even though in the beginning of, even though when me and my SP initially broke up, right? And I was doing all the law of attraction shit. Okay, and I guess Yeah, no, that was confirmed after. Okay, yeah, it was confirmed after. Okay, so I was doing all the law of attraction shit, but I still had and you all know there was gutter trash. Okay, so but I still had an assumption about the gutter trash. Okay, and so and the type of person that I believe she was. Okay, so I still had that assumption about her. Let's look and see a butterfly, guys. Sorry. That means my manifestation's coming, bitch. So I still had this assumption about her. So even though I was going down this whole fucking stupid little rabbit hole with law of attraction and wasn't seeing or getting any movement, I still reminded myself that I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So when I got a grip and realized that that was all bullshit and started figuring it out myself, when I got introduced to the law of assumption, and I started looking back and thinking, yeah, this is all fucking making sense now. And so then I figured out what worked best for me and what works in general. When we got back in contact, my assumption about a person was playing out the whole time. Behind. I had no idea. So you guys need to not question a goddamn thing, but persist. Because apparently something was going on behind the scenes without me even knowing it. And then when I got a grip and actually started affirming and started doing things differently, then we got back in contact, and then I got the confirmation that what was going on behind the scenes the whole time. Okay, that's what you guys need to realize, is you don't have to worry about a goddamn thing. You don't have to, okay? Because you already may have certain assumptions about your SP that's still playing on behind the scenes. It's just assumptions that you have that don't necessarily require movement. It's still there. It's still running. So now when you affirm, now you should be affirming for movement. Then you will start to see movement. Because I don't think you have, I would find it really hard to believe that you have nothing but negative assumptions about your SP. I would find that very hard to believe. Okay, so because of that, you still have positive assumptions. Those are still playing out because they're already an assumption. So you need to stop looking at things hard because you're focusing on the time or you're focusing on your 3D not showing. But it will show if you would persist. But how on earth can it show? Sorry, I was reading one of the WhatsApp. She just ran into her SP. You know, I love how that works. When you just randomly run into them. It's not a coincidence, guys. Okay? So, stop it. I manifested my SP. Something happened with the gutter trash. They no longer together, but we still in no contact. Right. Okay. So because you're focused on gutter trash going away, but not you and SP being together. Okay, Kaz? You have to see you and SP being together. Him wanting you and only you. Him being obsessed with you, wants to talk to you all the fucking time, can't stand to be away from you, wants to be with you. You have to see him that way. Therefore, it breaks the no contact. I had 2 people tell me that this week, that they got confirmation, gutter trash is gone, but they still haven't heard from their SP. Okay. So, persist. Persist. Don't justify the shit. Do not justify it. But persist, and you will get the contact. But you guys need to get out of your own goddamn way. And I'm not going to tell you that again. Well, no, that's a lie. You know I'm going to tell your ass that again and again and again and again. And again. I tried manifesting SP taking me on a date specifically yesterday and it didn't work out. Okay. User 928. Where are you and your SP currently at right now when it comes to a relationship? Okay, because if you're in a relationship or you're like constantly hanging out and talking, You just don't have the title of relationship necessarily. Why do you have to manifest going on a date when you could literally just be like, hey, you want to go out this weekend? Job done. Or hey, let's go out this weekend. Job done. Not everything has to be a manifestation, guys. Not everything does. I have fun with my shit, but I have no problem being like, let's go somewhere. So, it's a relationship. It's like, that's as stupid as me saying I'm going to manifest and go into the grocery store. What? What? And the only reason user 928 it did not work is because look, if you tried manifesting SP to take you on a date yesterday, somewhere you didn't believe he would. You didn't believe that person would take you out, which is why you were manifesting him taking you on a date. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to know that they're going to take you out. Then they do. Everything pushes out that you know. So that's why I tell you guys, if you guys are trying to manifest something randomly, then you should be like, yeah, no, I know he's taking me on a date today. I know he's taking me on a date on Friday. I know we're going on a date on Friday. Tell yourself you know that. Okay? Because your subconscious mind pushes out, again, what you know. Hold on, guys. I forgot. Oh, pause. I'll be right back. I forgot to turn off the damn air and it's cold. All right. I've been saying my SP's name every day and getting requests from guys. Kelly, that's a really good sign, actually. That's a really good sign, okay, that you've been saying his name a lot and getting contact from people with the same name. That's a lot. Exactly, 444, that's what I said. Everything was me and my man, me and my man, me and my man. You have to start, user 928, you have to start assuming you're going to go on a date with your SP today. Like, no, yeah, he's taking me out. Look at his photo and tell his ass what to do. You're taking me on a date tonight. You're taking me on a date tonight. You're taking me on a date tonight. And go about your day knowing you're going on a date. No, Brahma, here comes Brahma, which I love you, Brahma, but Raz is not psychology, okay? It's not psychology and it's not manifestation, it's how the subconscious mind works. Hey, lovely. It's how the subconscious mind works, okay? Which is part of manifestation, right? So it's just subconscious manifesting. So this is where you'll sit there and be like, I haven't seen a butterfly lately. Now all of a sudden you go outside and you see butterflies everywhere. I'm not saying a swarm of butterflies, but you'll start to see more of them because your reticular activator system was activated. This is not psychology. This is just how your subconscious mind operates. Okay, it brings things into your conscious awareness, which is why you notice certain things and don't notice other things, because it takes it from your subconscious mind and brings it into your conscious awareness. That's all it's doing. Jed, after saying I hadn't been worried about their trying on college yet, he was talking to her today. That's okay. Brandy, give her an identity. Okay? Like we talked about, what do you want her to be towards your SP? Rude, annoying. She's annoying as fuck. You know? Like, she's super annoying. She's crazy. She has a fucking attitude. She's a raging bitch. Whatever you want to give her as an identity, give that to gutter trash. That's who she must become. Okay, she's jealous of you. Yeah, tell yourself that like she's completely jealous of me. Because this is where we leverage. If she's jealous of you, then what do you think? What do people do when they're jealous of someone? My daughter's experiencing this at school. I told my admins, I said, I may have to go snatch. I'm about to go snatch a fucking 14-year-old off the goddamn school playground in a second if they keep trying to mess with my daughter. Because she tries to be the better person. She tries to be the bigger person. But me, I'm petty. And so she was saying certain things to me about her supposed friend, and who we've had problems with her since kindergarten, and her parent. And so all of that stuff. So you know what? My daughter asked to be picked up from school early yesterday, and she never asked to be picked up from school early. And she said she was scared. And I said, scared of what? She's like, I might get jumped. I'm like, I wish a bitch would try to touch my daughter. So now we're going to have a go. I had to have a chat with her, and I talked to the parent. And now we're going to have to go have a little parent-child sit down. Except I don't know how he thinks it's going to go. But it ain't going to go the way he thinks it's going to go. No. Because I'm going to check them, and I'm going to check the child, too. I don't give a shit. But I told my daughter, I said, I want you to start standing up for yourself at school. Let somebody fucking try and punk your ass. Because she actually is pretty witty with her comebacks. I said, did you say that to her? She's like, no, I was trying to be the better person. I said, fuck that. Say it to her. Say what's on your goddamn mind. Because that's what they were trying to say. You're jealous of me. And I was like, bitch, please, jealous of you? She goes, I'm not jealous of a whore. You know, because there's a problem in today's society when 14-year-olds have their career goal is to be a stripper. I was like, are you going to dress up like that as for career day? But that's why I said they will be put on notice because she doesn't want to go to school on Monday. She never wants to go to school on Monday. So I said, they will be put on notice. I said, and I told them, I said, look, I said, let me tell you something. Since we're not meeting till Monday after school, I said, if your child or her friend so much as look at my daughter in any type of way on Monday at school, I'll be at that school and I will snatch their ass up by their hair, them and all their friends. I don't really give two shits. Yeah. That's right. Me and my bestie, because her daughter's involved too. So we were like, girl, we got to go roll up on that school playground. We're about to go do that too. You know, but I said, I always tell people, I said, me personally, I said, turn around and punch her ass in the face. I'll buy you McDonald's after. Don't trip. Don't even trip. She's like, I'll get in trouble. But I always look at it like this. I said, well, you know what? People, who do they talk about? They only talk about people that they're jealous of. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're jealous of you, obviously, because why would they talk about you? Because you're everything they'll never be. You're everything they're never going to be, because people only talk about people that are relevant in their life. So that's the same with gutter trash. If gutter trash is jealous of you, then guess what she's going to do? Talk about you a lot. And to your SP, which keeps you top of mind. Well, that's the thing. My dad got upset with her because he was like, you need to file a report with the school. I was like, no, you don't. She did that one time last year. And I told her, I said, excuse me. I was like, we don't do that. One, that's social suicide, because now you're a snitch. Ain't nobody like a snitch. We handle our business in-house around here. And he's like, I think we all as parents need to band together. Band together for what? Our children will never have anything to do with your child ever again in life. So we don't need to band together for shit. They need to stay in their lane and we'll happily stay in ours. That's it. That's all she wrote. So you can go back and tell your little fucking friends that they better not even look at my daughter either. How about that? Because if you do, allow me to introduce myself. I am not that innocent, sheltered mother, and neither is my bestie. There's a reason why our daughters are best friends and we're best friends, okay? So they're about to get real acquainted with us. And the funny thing is because I'm so short, I can literally go into my daughter's school, because I did it on the first day of her middle school. The parents are not allowed on campus. And I'm told Shay, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what they said. I was like, come on, let's go. And sure enough. This thing is so fucking stupid. I was like, I don't care what they said. Sure enough. Do you think if they let me walk right on campus, everything, I fit right in with the children. Was 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, I fit right in because I'm short. And then I went and embarrassed my daughter as she was standing outside on her first day of middle school. But I only embarrassed her for about 30 seconds because I was like, have a good day at school, honey. My friend's like, you officially embarrassed the shit out of your daughter. Kudos to you. But then I apologized. She goes, yeah, I was embarrassed at first. She goes, but not anymore, because everybody, as soon as you walked away, everybody was like, is that your mom? And she was like, yeah. And they're like, she's really pretty. There we go. Oh, Jesus. Man. Hey, you know what? These days, we could have gotten away with whatever. I miss you too, user. We could have gotten away with whatever the hell we wanted to back in the days. Because there was no proof. Nowadays, can't even walk outside your house. Somebody's catching you on the ring cam. Got to be careful how you're walking out your house too, because you may be making some people very happy on the ring cam if you're walking out in some sexy little bathrobe. Okay. If his family and friends don't like me, should I revise that they just decided like, yeah, Christina, absolutely. I would tell myself that no, his friends absolutely like me. All of his friends like me. In fact, they cannot stop talking about how perfect I am for my SP. They absolutely love me. Everybody loves me. Every fucking body loves me. Because they will. They will. You don't have really resistance to your SP's friends. So if they don't like you, that can be easily reversed. I have a pain on my toe, excuse me. So yeah, that can be easily reversed. Let's see here. Yeah, it's my friend. Her ex-friend's dad was bothering or getting bullied by both me and my bestie yesterday in the text. We're like, we've known you for 9 years. Please don't fucking play with us. We'll beat your wife up too if we have to. Well, I won't be beating anybody up. That's my bestie's job. As she says, she goes, I'll mess him up. Don't even try. But she told me, she goes, but girl, she goes, you have to promise me that you cannot have any alcohol before we go to this meeting. We'll go and get a cocktail after. She's like, because I don't want to have to fight a grown man in front of our children in the middle of a park over something that you said. I was like, yeah, because that's why we get along so well, because as you guys know, I have no filter. I have no filter at all. And when it comes to my daughter, I definitely have no filter. But either does my bestie. So I told her, knock it off. You know you're going to end up, because she already wants to punch him in the face. All right. See, but that's a good thing, though. Hey, Terry bestie. That's a good thing, though, when your friends know that your parents don't play. And when you teach your children to be honest, my daughter's honest to a fault. Like, literally. I told her, I said, never commit a crime, girl. She'd be like, I did it. It's like the story of the first 48. If you look at all first 48 episodes, right? I was like, could you imagine watching your episode back and being like, damn, I snitched on myself. I was like, that's like the cardinal rule of 101, criminology. If you're going to commit the crime, don't tell on yourself. And if they're talking to you, it's because they don't have enough to convict you. I wanted to be a lawyer, but I didn't want to defend the guilty, like of, wrong type of people, horrible people. And then I didn't want to be a DA and convict people because it's my job that were innocent. So I decided not to do either one. Exo Rainbow Moon. You don't have to believe your assumptions. Okay, well, no. You don't have to believe your affirmations. Okay, but affirmations, when you say them enough, create the assumption. Okay, which you will believe the assumption, because that's what pushes out. Okay, so the affirmations, you don't have to believe the affirmations themselves. At first, you will start to believe them because they will start to push out. If you'll stay, consistent. But let's see here. How about when there's gutter trash? Just ignore it. Okay, Savannah, I think you're new here, hun. Welcome, bestie. If you could ignore gutter trash, then by all means, ignore gutter trash. But most people, it's cool if you don't know about gutter trash. Hey, Lisa, don't be late again, bitch. It's different if you don't know about gutter trash, right? Then it's easy to not think about it. But when you know about gutter trash, I find it easier and, well, let's be honest because I'm petty. I find it easier and more satisfying to shoot gutter trash back to the dumpster she crawled out of. We don't call them 3Ps here because 3Ps imply competition, but nobody competes with trash, okay? And so that's when it comes to gutter trash, is I wouldn't say ignore it necessarily because it's hard to ignore something you know exists. So instead, I say this is where we leverage the law and say, okay, and this worked out flawlessly for me, which is why I teach this to you guys, because when I realized if we can leverage everyone as you pushed out, right? And you start thinking about the laws, right? And you say, okay, everyone as you pushed out. What does that mean? That means that everybody in my reality must show up based on my assumptions of them. How I see them is how they show up to me, and is how they show up in my reality. So then you say, okay, so then that means gutter trash is no different. So what do I want to assume about gutter trash that's going to benefit me? Because she has to show up based on your assumptions of her. Okay, so if you assume that she's a bitch, that she's crazy, that's my favorite. She's crazy, she's completely jealous of you. I'd combine the two, by the way. She's crazy and completely jealous of you. She's got anger issues. She's fucking annoying. Like, she's super annoying. Like, everything she does is annoying, right? All of these things, based on how you describe her, is what must happen, because that's who she must become to your SP. Okay, so it's like you're here. Gutter trash is here, SP's here, okay? Right now they're this. When you change your assumption of her and only about what you want to believe, something that's, works in your favor, then what that does is create the wedge because she has to conform to that. So she has to start doing irrational things. She has to start having an attitude. She needs to start bitching all the time, doing all that stuff, right? To SP. That's how she shows up. Okay, so now you affirm them away. So you can say the things that I would say, like he can't stand her, he's disgusted by her, he wants nothing to do with her. They argue all day, every day, she's gone away, or he fucking hates her. Or you can just keep it short and sweet and say, no, anytime you think about her, no, he fucking hates her. He hates her, she's gone away. He hates her, she's gone away. He hates her, she's gone away. What that's going to do is create a wedge between them. Now, gutter trash is going to do what you tried to do, what everybody tries to do to save their relationship. Force the 3D. We all know forcing the 3D does not work. So the more she forces the 3D, it pushes your SP away from her. Okay? And because gutter trash plays her part perfectly in your manifestation. She can't stop it. She plays it perfectly. She doesn't have a choice. Okay, so now she pushes him away, but you're also affirming for you and SP. So now he turns around and comes on home to mama. That's the fun part. Okay, so if you'll do that, yeah, she'll be gone. But you also cannot see gutter trash as being the reason you and SP are not together. Okay, as standing in between you and SP. If you view gutter trash as an obstacle standing in between you and SP, she ain't going anywhere. Okay, because she has to stay there because you think that she's the reason. And you won't see movement with your SP either if you think she's the obstacle. Instead, if you focus like, no, what obstacle? She's not on my level, first of all, right? This is where on the pedestal comes into play, self-concept comes into play. Like, no one compares to me. And really, she's not on my level. And that's your attitude towards her, then it's fine. You'll start to see movement with you and your SP. While there's trouble in this paradise, you'll start to see him shifting towards you. Even if she's still in the picture, it doesn't matter. Whatever has to happen for you to get your full manifestation will happen. She could exit right away. She could stick around for a little while. Doesn't matter. But you will still start to see movement with you and your SP as long as you view her as not the reason you're not together. Okay? And she will exit the scene. She has to aid in your manifestation. She, again, doesn't have a choice. Okay, so, yeah, it works like a charm. A charmy charm. Every time. And you can have fun with that one, too. A lot of people that have gutter trash are having a lot of fun with changing their assumptions of her to work in their favor. And then when you get the confirmation, that's even the funner part. Right? Because a lot of them are getting the confirmation that the things that they have decided to assume about gutter trash is exactly what's coming true. Okay? Right? My SP used to greet me, good morning, sexy, even. I'm chubby, so it manifested without me losing weight. Hey, Nicole, girlfriend. Marisol. Because you are sexy, bitch. Okay? Yeah, like, as long as you see yourself as sexy or tell yourself that he thinks you're sexy, he will. You know, what they say, sexiness comes in all kinds of packages. All kinds of packages, right? Doesn't matter if you got a little extra loving. Doesn't matter. You know, obviously it's good enough for your SP. And if you're going to lose weight, you should only lose weight for you in the first place. Okay? You should never lose weight for anybody but you. But I love that he thinks you're sexy, bitch. Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? But you see how, but leverage that, Marisol, because you can see how quickly when you say something, it manifests. Okay? You use this as leverage. Okay? When people sit there and tell you things that you've been saying to yourself, that's leverage. You hold on to those, and now you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right, game on. That's right, game on. Okay, gotta remember these things, because that's what I would do. I would remind myself of things that were confirmed, movement that I saw, and be like, yeah, well, just like I did this, I could do this. Just like I did this, I could do this. Over and over and over again. I don't know why you guys don't do that. If you see your SPs, if you guys see your SPs, like let's say you work with your SP, why don't you tell yourself that he's wearing a certain color shirt? He's going to wear this color shirt today. Because the second that man shows up in a red ass shirt or whatever shirt color you claimed he'd wear, then you're going to be like, yeah, that's right. That's fucking right. Like when I was going through my legal battles before. I hired an attorney. I'm clever. I tried to hire the attorney that was the husband to the judge. And he was like, conflict of interest. I was like, damn. So it was late when I was calling around to other attorneys, and one attorney answered the phone. I was telling him my situation. I said, here's what's in. I'm not going to prison. He goes, you're not going to prison. I said, you're hired. because he shared in my same sentiments when the attorney that I currently had was like, no. He even told my lawyer, he's like, when my lawyer went to court, and he's like, by the way, I'm replacing you. And he's like, I don't know why she hired you for, she's going to prison. And he was like, yeah, well, that's why I'm replacing you. So, obviously you guys know I did not, because I beat the case, right? But man, there was a reason why I hired him, right? One, he told me what I wanted to hear, because I told you, why do you think I fired the other one? I'm sorry, you said what? You work for me, bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? So I was like, you're fired. But I hired him. But what's the odds that he did his research on the judge, right? And so on the day we went to court, he wore a Texas tie. She's from Texas. So instant rapport builder, right? But there was that commonality. But I don't even know where I was going with that story. I do. But everything was a manifestation. There's a reason why I chose him out of, well, it was in Vegas, so out of hundreds of attorneys. If you ever need a good attorney in Vegas, I got your back, because this man fucking rocks. His name was Michael Wahala. You're welcome. Don't tell him I sent you. I did leave him a testimonial, though. PW. I know I am Terry Duh, bitch. Yeah, PW, you don't have to ignore the 3D. That's not what this is about. It's never about ignoring the 3D, okay? Because you can't ignore the 3D, you're living in it, right? Unless you're blind, it's how do you ignore the 3D? You know, so instead, all you're doing is not reacting in your thoughts to the 3D. You're not reacting in your thoughts to the 3D, okay? You can react emotionally. Doesn't matter, because your emotions aren't what's manifesting. It's the thoughts behind the emotions, okay? Is usually there's a thought that triggers the emotion, but now you have to affirm through the tears. You have to affirm through the anger. You have to affirm through all that stuff, okay? But you don't need to ignore it. You know, and let's talk honestly, because you're not the only one, PW. This is where a lot of you falter. What the fuck are you finding? Okay, unless you're in my situation, right? Unless you were in my situation where like you live next door to this guy, okay? Or you work together. What the fuck is hard to ignore in the 3D? Honestly, what's hard to ignore? It's not like you're seeing this person all the time. And if you are, it's because you're doing things to intentionally check the 3D, to trigger yourself, like checking their social media, seeing if they're online, doing all those things. Then you're purposely doing things like that to check the 3D. But really, it's like, what is there to check if you're not seeing this person every day? There's nothing really to fucking check. It's different if it's your child's father or something like that and you have to see this person. But if you don't, then what the fuck is there to check? What's there to react to? There's nothing fucking there. And like I said, I would purposely do things. So if I could not react, you shouldn't react, okay? Like, I wouldn't do things to force the 3D, not in any sense of that word. But I would, well, except for the last step. And only by forcing 3D, I would ask a question because I didn't know the answer, right? That's where I learned not to do that, okay? That's where everything I teach you guys is based on my own personal experience. Trial and fucking error, if you will. You're welcome. Feel free to tip me for my trial and error. So that I can tell you guys to learn from my fucking mistakes. But there's nothing to react to. For what? For what? I affirmed to get her trash away, but now she is back. Does that mean I'm doing something wrong? Yes, Liz. Yes, you're doing something wrong. Okay, so, and ask how I know this. Through personal experience, okay? So, the problem is you sent her to the dumpster. However, you pulled her back out. Okay. And the reason for that is you may have thought about her, right? You may have questioned if he was still talking to her, you know, things like that. And so what did that do? That kept her in your reality, and you literally pulled her out of the dumpster. So you just need to do the same thing you're doing now, but when she goes back to the dumpster, close the fucking lid and let the dump truck take her away. Okay. And the only way you're going to do that is by persisting beyond her being gone. So it's like, because it's almost impossible for you to affirm for something and have it happen, and then to not ever think about it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like, so you affirm to win the lottery and you win the lottery. You don't think tomorrow you're going to think about it again and replay that shit, right? Of course you are. You know, anything, you're going to think about it again. Okay, so because of that, we have to, this is why I always tell you guys, I don't care if you get part of your manifestation or your full manifestation, you must persist beyond that, okay, with your affirmations, because while moving to the next step too, you must persist, because it needs to become a natural thing for you where it's like, no, this is just how it is now. So now you can do what you did to shoo her away. But then after you get confirmation that gutter trash is gone, then you say, okay, so anytime you ever think about her, anytime you question, you're like, no, she's gone away. She's gone away. She's completely gone away, right? Because that will keep her away until you and SP are like rocking and rolling, you're solid or whatever. And now you find that you're not thinking about her anymore. Then you can move on. But if you ever do, you must tell yourself, no, she's gone away. She's gone away, because if you don't, you're going to be right. Okay, you're right regardless. And especially when it comes to gutter trashes, it's very easy to question, is she going to come back? Is he still talking to her? Is she really gone? Right? Yeah, that's really easy to do that. So you have to just persist beyond that this time, and she won't come back. That's right. He cannot stand. He has talked to you all day, every day, Mary. All day, every day. He cannot stop talking to me. I am not getting texts from SP because of being creeped out by someone else texting me. Oh, wait, what? What, son? What do you mean you're not getting texts from your SP because of being creeped out by someone else texting you? What does someone else, I would need a little bit more context there to guide you. What is you being creeped out by someone else texting you have anything to do with your SP? Okay. I would need that explained on how that impacts your SP. And if it doesn't, then stop putting the two together. Like, oh, he's not texting me because of this. No. No. He texts me all day, every day. Like, he is always texting and calling me, always, like always. Whenever, he cannot go a single day without texting me. Right? He texts me good morning every single day. You need to persist in that, because I'm not getting the connection between getting creeped up by someone else texting you and your SP. So if you want to elaborate, then I can help you. Sherry, what are my thoughts on detachment? So you need to detach. You can detach from the resistance, right? I wouldn't say let it go, per se, like let go of your, thank you. I wouldn't say let go, right? Let it go. I hate that shit. Like, let go. No, if I want something, I'm not going to let it go, right? But what I would detach from is I would detach from not having it, detach from the resistance of it not coming, right? Detach from the past, the old story, right? That's what I would detach from. That's what most of you need to fucking do, is detach from that shit. and detach from the negative emotions and the negative thoughts about your SP, right? That's how I would leverage detachment versus detaching from your SP altogether. I mean, if that serves you better, then you can do that. But you still can't think against what you want when it comes to your SP, okay? If you can just detach from him altogether and the feelings associated with that, that's not necessarily I don't recommend that for people, but it wouldn't be a bad thing if it helps you not fucking spiral and waver and shit. Then you can do that. But when you think about your SP, you can't you still have to see him as the person you want him to be. You can't expect that detachment is just going to be like, I'm all done and I'm never going to think about his ass ever fucking again, because that's just unrealistic. Okay. Listen, hands, you check. Terry, good. I love this. Do you see? Let Terry be an example of her shit slid back, right? It slid back. And she had a little moment. We talked. She had a little moment. And then you know what she did? She put her fucking big girl pants back on, straightened up her fucking crown, and persisted. And guess what? Right back on track. Okay? Things moving forward. That's all that you have to do is persist. It's okay if you have a little moment, but straighten up your fucking crown and move forward and persist. No matter what they say, no matter what they fucking do, no matter any of that shit, persist. And it turns back around. Like I said, what are you going to detour on the fucking highway and take a wrong turn and then just keep going? Well, where the hell do you think you're going to be? Right? No. Of course, you turn around and get right back on the fucking right road and continue your path, continue your course. That's it. And the shit turns right around. You guys are the ones that keep getting in your own goddamn way over and over and over again. I don't say... Brahma, bitch, this is not your first fucking day here. I don't say third party because third party implies competition. A third party. That implies competition. No. Gutter trash, there's nothing to compete with. Who competes with trash? I don't. And I know you don't. So that's why we don't say it. I refuse to acknowledge them. Yeah, you don't have to know her, Brittany. You don't have to know her at all, okay? I didn't know her. I knew nothing about her. I didn't even know the person's name. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Your subconscious mind knows who you're referring to. I mean, mine certainly did. Mine certainly did. And so you would assign her whatever you want. Whatever you want. Dave, just ask your question again. Whatever you want, you can assign her, you know? So you can say, I like more of an action thing, right? I like more of an action thing. So instead of saying like ridiculous or disgusting, I would say, you can say she's disgusting, but I prefer things like, no, she's absolutely annoying. Like, she's absolutely annoying. In fact, she actually hates chiropractors. She's absolutely fucking annoying. Absolutely annoying. Like, or she's crazy. She's fucking crazy. She's a bitch. She has anger issues. Like, she's just an angry person. No one likes her. And literally no one likes her. Okay, what if gutter trash is pregnant? Doesn't matter, Yesenia. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Somebody's dealing with that right now, right? One of my clients is dealing with that right now, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, he's already confirmed, no, I'm going to be there for the child, of course, you know, and you want them to have a good co-parenting relationship for the children's sake, you know, but he's already confirmed her, no, like, no, I don't have feelings for her. I'm not going to be with her. Like the pregnancy was kind of an accident. It wasn't an intention. And so he's like, no, that's a wrap. So doesn't matter. You should, now don't get me wrong, you should want them to have a great co-parenting relationship. But that's it. They're nothing but co-parents. Okay? Because it would depend on, it's the same thing, Brittany, when it comes to gutter trash with an SP. So it depends on the situation, okay? There's always situations where there's always situations when it comes to somebody being pregnant, okay? Like they could totally have broken up, right? They could have totally broken up because you don't find out you're pregnant like the first 4 weeks of being pregnant, okay? So it's like you could have broken up and then like 3 months later, you find out you're pregnant, right? But you're not even together. So people should never have to try and force a relationship for the sake of a child, right? So there's all kinds of circumstances on why somebody is pregnant, okay? And like I said, they could have not been together at all. Okay, we'll take my child's father as an example. He had a whole wife. He was divorced when I got pregnant. He was divorced, but guess what? I didn't find this out I probably wouldn't have gotten pregnant. But I have no regrets because that's how I had my daughter. But I started seeing pictures. I started seeing him being tagged in a lot of pictures of a child on Facebook that looked very similar in age to my daughter. And they were like 1 or less than 1. And looked very similar in age. And I asked him, I said, who's this child that you keep getting tagged in his picture? I said, because he looks real close to Kayla's age. And he goes, oh, I knew we were going to have this conversation eventually. I said, what conversation? He goes, so I didn't know at the time. He's like, I didn't know. He had gotten a divorce and everything. And obviously, they obviously screwed around after that. But he goes, I didn't know at the time that you and I got together that she was even pregnant. And so he's like, well, yeah, she was pregnant. So you know what? You know how far apart our kids are? 4 months. 4 months in age. Yeah. So there's all kinds of circumstances. So unless I knew the circumstances, I don't judge people based on that, because there's a lot of circumstances behind what created that. So it depends. It depends. Okay, because they weren't together, but that didn't mean he doesn't take care of his kid. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of friends that found out after they broke up with their girlfriends that their girlfriends were pregnant. They found that out after. And they were like, well, we'll raise the child together, but we'll raise the child as parents, but they had a whole nother girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Does that girlfriend's wrong? You know what I'm saying? No, she's not wrong. Because he found out after they were dating. So there's all kinds of circumstances behind it. So let's not judge a book by its cover. But you all know my stance. I don't break up relationships, right? But there's all kinds of circumstances behind somebody being pregnant. Just saying. Okay. Brahma, you and your SP seem to have a very strange relationship. I feel like you and your SP have a real strange relationship. Where it's like, what are you, 12? What, are you both 12? Because I think it's really cute. I have somebody actually in my DMs. It's so cute. He's in 10th grade, wanting to manifest an SP. I love how 10th graders are into manifestation. I thought it was fantastic. He's like, I can't afford to pay you. And I'm like, you're in... Go sell some cans and call me. Yeah. You know, I was like, you're in 10th grade. Like, how fucking cute is that? So I'm giving him advice. I think it's fucking amazing. But Brahma, I don't think you're fucking 10. So what are you and your SP blocking? She's blocking you because you didn't like her videos? I would expect that from the 10th grader, not grown-ups dating. Yeah, Jennifer, I would definitely reach out. I wouldn't just go buy gifts. But I'd reach out and get into contact. If you know that he would answer, then why not? Then why not? All of you, if you knew they would answer, why wouldn't you text them? I did. I reached out. Not a crime. Okay, I didn't have a phone number, but when he gave me his phone number, we had exchanged maybe a couple texts, but it wasn't like we were talking all the time until I got locked out of the pool. And I wanted to get in the pool. And then that changed everything. So, if you know they'll respond, who gives a shit? I can't believe Lisa, put your crown back fucking up, bitch. Straighten your crown. Do it now. Oh, here we are. It creeps me out because I didn't want to be in a relationship with that other person. Well, so what, son? I get a text message almost every other day. Almost every other damn day, I get a text message. Lisa, then why didn't you fucking call me? Next time that happens, I want you to call me. Because I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so I was trying to go and look at something else. Okay. I got lost in the sauce here. Yeah, okay, son. So I have somebody who's been texting me for a long time. Every couple days I get a text from him. So if I wanted to go on a date with him right now, he would take me out today. Hell, he'd probably drive over right now. If I know he would. If I was to be like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Like that's what he would do. So he's been left undelivered for months. Sometimes occasionally I'll open up his messages. I know what the fuck they all say. They all say the same shit. Hey, beautiful. Happy hump day. Hope you're having a good day. All the same shit. But I haven't responded to him in months. Or no, it's been no, not months. It's been probably well over a year. I haven't responded to a goddamn thing he said. And really, I have probably talked to him by text, and it would be something super platonic, like, yeah, I hope you have a good day too, right? 3 times, maybe in the past 3 years. But yet, it's still in my inbox every day. You think I give a shit? I don't give a fuck. So that stuff shouldn't creep you out, right? Instead, you should be like, oh, look at that. I'm a bad bitch. I have options. I'm not saying you're into that person. I'm not into the person. You don't have to be. But at the end of the day, you can use it as an ego booster and be like, that's right. That's right. Look at me. Use that as a little ego booster. But don't have it creep you out. You stay in the reality of, this is where a level of delusion will come into play. Okay? Where you stay in the reality that it's happening now, right? It's happening now. You know, if you're in complete no contact, for a lot of you guys, it's hard for you guys to see relationship, right? It's a lot easier for you to step into the delusion of relationship when you're starting to talk again, when you're starting to do that stuff, then it's easier to step into the into the reality of being in a relationship, right? Of acting as if you're in one. But it's not realistic, in my opinion, to live at the end of that. But you can sit there and live in the reality of where you guys talk often. Live in that reality where he always calls and texts me. And then why you guys don't get all fucking excited and natural when you guys talk to your SPs? I did. I was like, of course. And we'd have fun in our conversations. Why not? That's how it's supposed to be. Friendly little banter, getting excited. You know, getting excited and be like, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's my honey. That's my man. Right? It's a lot easier for you to do that than it is for you to to live in the end of marriage and he hasn't said a goddamn word to you. You know? So Taz, you don't need to necessarily stay in the reality of marriage versus this is where you tell yourself that. Tell yourself that shit. Over and over and over again. Because here's the thing. I got pictures of SP by SP story, but no text. Okay. Do you want to know, like, realistically, how many pictures I have of my boyfriend? Not a lot. Not a lot. Guys are not like picture hoes. Unless they're like gym rats, right? If they're like gym rats or whatever, then yeah, my guy friends take a lot of pictures because they're fucking feeling themselves. But most of their pictures are taken at the gym, right? Because they're feeling themselves. Or they'll take pictures of them doing something fun with their friends. That's usually it, though. They're not like selfie hoes. You know what I'm saying? Where they're walking around taking endless selfies. Right? So I don't have very many pictures of like my SP unless I took them of him. But they're not the best picture takers either. So I don't have oodles of them. So what? So what? My boyfriend wasn't sending me like, when we were always calling and texting, I don't think he maybe sent me 4 pictures, maybe 4 pictures of himself. But me, on the other hand, but that's just my personality, you know. That's just what women do. It's a lot different than like men, you know. Lisa, we're gonna have to have a little chat, okay? We're gonna have to have a little chat. You're not about to undo what you've been working so hard on. We're not doing that. Yes, he is, CC. Yes, he is. We're not doing that, Lisa. Do you understand? We're going to have a chat. We are going to have a chat. Yeah. I reflected yesterday and I remembered I wavered, and that's why SP did the actions I didn't like. Of course, Dade. Of course. You have to start, you guys need to be a lot more like, okay, look, let's have some heart-to-heart talk chatties. Lisa, stop. There's nothing to be ashamed about, okay? No, you're never letting me down. You're letting yourself down, but don't worry about it. Your SP blocked you. Okay, CGG, what'd you do? What'd you do? People don't wake up one day saying, I think I want to block this bitch. They don't do that. They don't do that, okay? That's right. We only take pictures when we feel good about ourselves. They can't. They can't. They look like children when they take their fucking pics. Because women know what they look for, right? Angles. You know, we all have the preferred side of our face, right? We all know how to take pictures. Guys, on the other hand, they're like, can you hurry the fuck up? There you go, son. Yeah, that's what you should do. That's what you should do. It's just the eyes. Yeah, but he blocked me and I called on Instagram. Okay, so it's just Nia. So this is where you have to think logically speaking here. You're not on that fucking pedestal, okay? Look, y'all are pissing me off, but let's think logically speaking here. Is you spiraled last night after finding out he blocked you. So you thought, oh, he blocked me. This is going to be a great opportunity for me to call him on Instagram. And then I'm surprised that we argued. Come on, bitch. Come on. Okay? Because even though you thought that it would happen, you affirmed the opposite of the thoughts. But you forced the 3D. He could have instantly, you have to understand there's a delay for your benefit. Okay? So you spiraled a little bit, you reacted, whatever. But then you forced the 3D. And that backfired. If you would have just gone about and persisted in your thoughts and affirmed the opposite in your thoughts, tomorrow you could have very much have been unblocked. But instead, you wanted to force a 3D by calling him on Instagram and then shock it. And then what was the plan? How did you think somebody would have answered? How would you answer if you blocked somebody that you didn't want to talk to and they fucking called you on Instagram? You'd be like, what the fuck do you want? Like, that would be like your whole thing. And it's not with an SP. This is in general. In general. You'd be like, what part of blocked don't you understand, bitch? Why are you calling me? That would annoy anybody. Okay? So you had to have seen what you did was wrong, obviously. And what part of forcing the 3D was unclear? What part of forcing the 3D was unclear? Because you would have had a momentary like little sadness in your heart when finding out he blocked you. And so you would have had a little sadness there. Then if you would have done what I tell you to do and stayed and persisted through it, you could have turned it around. But then you call on Instagram, argue, and then you tell me how you felt after that argument. Even worse. So why would you do that to yourself? Why would you have done that to yourself? Because you could have chosen a different path, but you chose the other one. The one, I would say the one less traveled, but no, it's the one most traveled in this community. And then are shocked. Come on now. You're always affirming. You're always affirming. You're constantly affirming. So you can't stop affirming, Justnia. You can't stop affirming. Because the thought that you had, because let's look realistically, the thought that you had certainly pushed out. Well, that was an affirmation. That was an affirmation. And then what? You thought because you affirmed for what? A couple minutes and then tried to force a 3D, what did you think was going to happen? On top of that, I don't think you thought about it one time. Something led up to you thinking that he would block you. Therefore, you thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. Then we're like, let me just affirm the opposite. And then, oh my God. But if you would have persisted in affirming, it would have turned its ass around. But you did opposite of everything I've told you to do. Opposite, complete opposite. And then are shocked that it didn't pan out how you wanted it to. Every single 100% of the people on here know and will confirm that forcing the 3D doesn't work. But yet you keep doing it. You keep reacting. You keep verbalizing shit. And then are upset that it's backfiring. I told you, you need to learn to shut the fuck up. Shut up. What were you going to call him on Instagram and talk to him about? Why'd you block me? There was obviously a reason behind it, and you knew the reason behind it, so why would you even fucking ask? You knew how that conversation was going to go. So this whole thing, that part, it's on you. Because your thoughts against it certainly pushed out, didn't they? Because that's affirming. Jess, I'm in contact with SPI and affirming, but now he's pulling back, very still. Okay, Chai Babe. Okay, so what you can't do is you cannot react to him pulling back. Okay, this is hot and cold behavior. Okay, this is hot and cold behavior because what's happening is everything could have been really great in your contact with SP, right? Then all of a sudden, you feel like you feel like all of a sudden today was a dry text. But in here, you're like, oh God, it's changing, right? Oh, he's pulling back. There's dry texting. Something's wrong. He's acting different, right? Things like that. Now you're selecting other version, old version, the one that you don't want. So then you get more of that behavior. Okay. So whenever you're experiencing hot and cold behavior like this, it is because you are wavering in your version of your SP. And you're assigning negative meaning. You're assigning meaning to what you assume it means, right? So it's like dry text. You're like, oh, he doesn't love me. He's pulling back. Something's changing. Well, now you're confirmed correct. Okay, so instead, it's like, no, every text he sends to you, every time you talk to him, oh, he is so fucking sweet. Oh my God. I'm the love of his life. Right? And you have to select perfect boyfriend only, even when he shows you the opposite. Because it's very often while this is in progress that this is very common when in relationships in general is hot and cold behavior, right? But it's only indicative of your thoughts. You read into something that he said or a behavior that he did. You read into it, and so because of that, now he does more behavior like that, and you continue to assign that meaning to it, and it continues to go that way. But if you would just stop right now and say, no, pulling back, never. He talks to me all day, every day. Like literally, he's the perfect boyfriend. We talk all the time. He will turn that around. He's so sweet and loving. He is constantly telling me how he feels about me through text, or he's constantly showing me how much he cares about me when we talk, and things like that. And you will notice the tonality of the conversation will start to shift with that. Okay, it'll start to shift with that. Okay, hold your questions because clearly we need to cut some energy cords, and then I'll bitch at you after we're done with that because a lot of y'all are pissing me the fuck off. And this started well before this live today. And finally, I reached out and I thought it was good that he blocked. Well, CCGG Collins. I'd have to know how that conversation went. Amanda, I love that. I'd have to see how that conversation went. to see why you got blocked. Because if it was just a natural conversation, then I couldn't see somebody blocking you because of that, unless you thought against it after. Or did you call him and want to talk about your relationship? Because if that's the case, that becomes a problem. Okay, that becomes a problem. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Diamond. Depends on what kind of contact with your SP you're in, if you know what I mean. Good, Wendy, good. That's growth. A lot of you can learn from Wendy and affirming through shit, okay? Affirming through things. You may not have argued because you called, Justnia, but you forced the 3D. I mean, the last thing you could have done, we didn't argue because I called. He answered like normal, but we argued because he kept saying he needed time without telling me that when I told him my health condition. You're still forcing the 3D. Okay? Arguing with him means you're saying too much. Okay? You cannot verbalize. Justnia, you cannot do that. You must go in here. You must go in here. What fucking time? No, he's over it. He's had his time, right? He's ready to talk about it now. In fact, he's completely here to support me now. But you arguing with him because of something you created is asinine to me. You need to stop doing that shit. Stop arguing with him. One, it's not good for your health. We'll talk about the obvious. Two, if you want him to be there and you want him to support you, which he should, then you need to see him doing it here. You will never convince him here. You won't. You have to convince him here. And then he will push it out and he will turn around. But you need to stop forcing it. Stop pushing it out. It's not helping you. It's not helping you. I need you to discipline. I need all of you to fucking start disciplining yourselves. And you need to stop with the bullshit. Like, honestly, you need to all stop with the bullshit excuses. Let's be frank with each other. There's a lot of bullshit excuses that you guys give over and over and over again. I wavered, I spiraled, I did this, I did that. Stop doing that. You know better. You know better. But yet you guys keep doing all the shit that you're not supposed to be doing. That you're not supposed to be doing. And then wondering why you've been doing this shit for a while and you're not seeing shit. Well, that's why. That's why. Because you're doing nothing but whining, bitching, moaning, groaning, checking the 3D, complaining, and then wavering and doubting and doing all the shit that you're not supposed to be doing. Making up bullshit ass stories in your mind and assigning negative meaning after negative meaning after negative meaning. Stop doing that. It's so fucking stupid. It is so stupid to not act like a fucking adult and be like, no, absolutely not. I want to be with my SP bad enough that I'm going to stop with the bullshit. That I'm going to stop whining and forcing the 3D and doing all the things that I know I'm not supposed to do. I'm going to just stop doing that shit. And I'm going to do all the fucking work here. And then when I start to see movement, I'm going to take that as positive movement and I'm going to keep it casual. I'm going to keep it consistent and I'm going to take it as what it is and assign positive meanings to fucking everything that they do or don't do. That's what I'm going to do. And I don't care if it tells me the opposite. Nope. I don't care. I'm going to persist. I'm going to affirm right through that shit. And I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to fucking keep going. What part of that is hard? What part of that is fucking hard? You know what's worse? Crying, self-loathing, feeling down, defeated. That's what's worse. It is not hard to discipline yourself. It is not hard. You guys need to get good at it now. Because this is bullshit. It is so fucking bullshit for me to see you guys do this shit over and over again. And then you come in here and you want to leave all the comments about how you fucking spiraled and how you forced the 3D and how you fucked shit up. And how you're focused on time and it's not happening. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I know what you're doing. Half the time, I don't even need you to finish telling me the rest of your story. I already know where you went wrong. You need to discipline yourselves. You treat this shit like it's a fucking game. It should be fun. Manifestation is supposed to be fun. But it's about getting what you want, what you deserve, being with the person that you love. And all you're doing is playing with your own fucking heart. All you're doing is playing with your own emotions. When you can fucking bunker down and say, no, I don't want this anymore. Enough time has gone by. I don't want this shit anymore, so I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to persist. I'm going to stay consistent. It is not fucking hard. It is not hard to decide that I want to be with my SP and I will do whatever I need to do to make that happen. That is not hard. It is not hard to affirm and to have the thoughts focused on what the fuck you want instead of everything you don't want. That's not hard either. It is not hard to know that you and your SP are together or getting back together right now. It is not that hard either to tell yourself that shit. None of this shit is hard work. It's a lot harder work to go to the goddamn gym than it is to freaking do what I'm asking you to do. But what I ask you to do, what I tell you to do works. But yet, over and over and over again, you refuse to do it. You refuse to discipline yourself. And I sit here and I fucking cry to you because I want 100% of you to get your fucking SPs. And that's what pisses me off. Because all you rather do is whine, bitch, and moan and groan and feel sad and depressed and sorry for your fucking self. For what? For what? When you can fucking get a grip. And you can decide right now that I'm all done bitching to myself. I'm all done being a victim. I'm all done fucking feeling sad and depressed and lonely all the goddamn time. And then I'm going to go get my man back so I don't have to go to bed alone anymore. So I don't have to sit there and cry on my couch by myself and think negatively and tear myself down. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go do the opposite fucking sit. So I can go get the opposite. Because right now you're getting everything that you want. So don't tell me it's not what you don't want. Don't tell me your 3D is not what you don't want. Because it's exactly what you want. Because if you didn't want it, you'd do something fucking different. And it doesn't take a long time. It takes a little bit of fucking discipline. So don't tell me your 3D is showing you not what you want to see. So there's nothing to react to. You should walk around your 3D with a big ass fucking smile on your face because you created it. So what are you upset about? What don't you like about your 3D? You should love everything in your fucking 3D because it's all you. So you should look at your 3D like it is fucking absolutely perfect. And if you don't feel that way, then get a fucking grip. Or stop whining about no movement. Stop whining about your 3D looking at the opposite all the fucking time. No, it's looking exactly how you want it to look. And your SP is doing exactly what you want him to do. So if you don't like his behavior, then stop bitching about him all fucking day long. Stop doing things to get yourself blocked, rejected, denied. Stop doing that because your SP is exactly who you want him to be for you right now. Even if he's an asshole, well, clearly that's what you want. Clearly that's who you like because you can't let it go. You're obsessed with the asshole version because you can't let it go. You continuously can't let go of the old stories because apparently you love all the drama in your relationship. You absolutely love that shit because if you didn't, why the fuck would you think about it all the time? Why? I certainly wouldn't. Because for what? For what? You had that excuse before you met me. But now there's no excuse. There's no excuse. If you think I'm going to feel sorry for you, that's not me. I'll feel sorry for you if this is the first day you've came across my video. But if not, get a fucking grip or stop bitching about it, because everything you have created, manifestation is perfect. Everything that you've curated in your reality right now is exactly how you want it to be, because that's what you continuously think about all the fucking time. So if you're tired of it and you want something different, then change how you're seeing things or stop fucking whining. Do you understand? Straighten up your fucking crown or take that shit off, pack that shit up and go about life and let life continue to fucking happen to you. Just be a complete punching bag for everybody in society just to fucking shit all over you for the rest of your life because you can't even get a grip with one person. Stop it. You're going to stop it now. And Jackie, I'm not answering that fucking question. Because as long as you want to continuously describe him as a fucking avoidant, that's what they have to be. So I need all you guys to get a grip. Now. Because I actually give a shit. I know how to do what I do. I've already done it. I've already done it. So, you think I want to sit here and waste my time 7 days a week? Like I could be, taking a nap right now, or spending time with my boyfriend, or cooking dinner. I spend 7 days a week with you guys to keep you on track, but not to fucking baby you and enable you. Not at all. Not at all. You think I put video content together to, what, for myself? For myself? No, I already know. I already have my SP back. I already know exactly what I'm doing. But I do it because I'm trying to help all of you. And all you guys keep doing is pissing me off. And I laugh because it's going to stop me from going off on you again. Because it's annoying. And now my fucking face hurts. Thanks a lot. So, there's that. All right, so let's get back on track now. I hope I didn't just wait, and I really hope, while I'm looking for these comments, I'm really hoping that I didn't just waste my goddamn fucking breath. Okay? Because I honestly, no one wants to help you more than me and a handful of other coaches out here on TikTok and YouTube. And they know who they are. That's it. Majority of people don't give a shit. They don't give a shit whether you get your stuff back or not. So, let's get a grip. Justnia, you don't react verbally. I've told you that we're human, so we leverage the law, okay? We know there's a delay in the law. So instead, you can react emotionally, but you affirm through the tears. You can react verbally, but never to your SP. Instead, what you should have done when you saw that blocked shit or whatever, instead of calling him, what you should have done is you should have cussed his ass out by yourself, to yourself. You could say whatever you want about him alone to yourself and then flip it around. And then flip it around. Because there's a delay. So there's no harm done when you do that. But what you don't do is argue with him. Because you're never going to convince him. Because you argue with him. Nothing good ever comes out of arguments. Why do you think they say that? Because all you're trying to do is force a 3D and convince, and then now you're pissed off because you don't see you feel like he's not understanding where you're coming from. How do you not get it? How are you not hearing what I'm saying? How do you not see my point of view? Because you're forcing a 3D. Because you're in essence trying to bully him to be there for you. That doesn't work. You should want him to. And the way you're going to want him, the way he's going to want to, is not because you're verbally commanding anything, but you do it here. Because when you do it here, it becomes his decision, his choice. And that's how you don't react. You don't react to them. You don't react in your thoughts, allowing yourself to spiral out of control, where people will literally, there's a reason they call them spiraling, because you'll go hours and hours and spiral. For fucking what? You think I ever want to sit there? I did that. I cried, and I cried. And that was not a good feeling at all. It wasn't like you're done crying and you're like, I feel all better. No, you don't. So I know what it's like to do that. But I also know what it's like to not benefit you, and what it's like to just feel awful after that. And so we need to get a grip. Okay? This is your fucking reality. This is your reality. And this is where you guys need to challenge yourselves to say, no, I'm better than this. I'm fucking better than this. What am I doing? If you guys would just take a look at yourselves in the mirror and just replay you when you spiral, just be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm way better than this. Like, no. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, I'm good. I'm solid. No, I'm better than this, and I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it to myself that I'm way better than this. That's the change. That's the power. The power, and they change when you step in and own your power. But you guys only own your power like a part-time fucking job. Like, I'm only going to wear my crown about 20% of the day. And the other 80%, no, I'm just going to bitch and whine and moan and groan. You can't do that. You can't do that. You need to wear a crown 24/7. And you owe it to yourselves more than anybody. You owe it to yourself to be that person for you. Flashy, I know you're locked in, girl. I know you're locked in. You see, Priya, yeah, I saw your thing in the WhatsApp chat. Right, go look. She put on her crown this morning and got movement today. And what makes her any different than you? What makes anybody getting movement any different than you? Not a goddamn thing, other than the fact that they persist. They don't cave. They don't fold. They don't cry all fucking day. No. You guys cry more than my fucking daughter cries. She cried yesterday for an hour or two. And then I told her, put your crown back on. Yeah. I tell her the same thing. I said, put your crown back on. They're fucking pieces of shit. They're gutter trash. And you don't compete with gutter trash. They're jealous of you. You're everything they're not. So she put her crown back on, dusted herself off, and she's fucking fine. And that's when she got angry. That's right. Let it go. Now move on. Fuck her. Yeah. That's how I talk to my daughter, though. Amanda. So, I hope you all understand now where I was coming from, and now we can move on. Okay, so now that we're all done with that, now we can go ahead and move forward and cut the energy. That's what we're going to do, okay? Oh, guys, guess what? I'm not going live tonight, by the way. I have a date night. How would you handle an SVT separate for a day or so? Ashley, okay, let's drop the or so, okay? But he wouldn't disappear for a day. Well, there's a couple things that I would say. When it comes to handle the SP disappearing, usually, okay, so this happened to me. I call it disappearing, but like we'd go like a day without talking. I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But that's because I didn't give a shit what came out of their mouth, right? Is so if, let's say, he goes like 6 hours and doesn't text you, and that's out of the norm for you guys. Nope. He's calling. He always calls and texts me. He always calls and texts me. He texts me every single day. He literally is texting me back right now. You have to tell yourself that instead of SP disappearing, right? Because unless he's Houdini, bitch, what happens when people disappear? They disappear, right? And I don't think he's Chris Angel, where he can make himself disappear and reappear in 2 seconds. Okay? But the only way you can get him to reappear is by not describing him that way and saying, hey, no. He texts me every single day, like literally every day. He's texting me right now. He's texting me right now. And he will text you back, okay? But if you focus on the time that's gone by, that's out of the norm for you guys, it just creates more time. And then the time extends, and then it extends, and then it extends. Because let's say you guys talk every hour. Well, all of a sudden you don't hear from him for 2 hours. Then you're like, why is he texting me? Well, 2 hours now turns to 4. Okay, 4 hours go by. Now it amplifies. Like, what the fuck, dude? This isn't normal. He hasn't texted me back. Why isn't he texting me back? Well, now the 4 hours turns into 12. Okay, it's never a day. It's just out of the norm. And then now your thoughts adjust with that. Okay, and then that's what happens. Okay, so let's get back on track. Let's get back on track. Hold the question so we can do the photo method, okay? He is upset and sad. I said that thing and then called him 85 times. Okay, glam. Well, first of all, I can see why he's upset. He's upset because you said something bad, you reacted verbally, which I tell you all the time not to do, and then you called him 85 times. And then you're shocked because he blocked you. If somebody called me 85 times, I would block their ass too. Let's be quite frank, right? Because it's almost like you sit there. Oh, I know, because this is what people do, right? You sit there, you call, they don't answer. So you call them back, they don't answer. You call them back. It's like repetition. It's like just repetition. His phone blows up for like 2 hours. His phone is just going off. All day long, phone is just going off. To the fact where they try, right? It took him 85 times of you calling. He tried to ignore it. But you persisted. And so for his own sanity and peace, and peace and quiet, he blocked you. Duh. Anybody would do that shit. What would you do if somebody that you didn't want to talk to called you 85 times? Because you understand this a lot of times. I don't even need to know how you know that, okay? I know how you know that because it shows if you called them repeatedly, it'll show you their name 85. And I'm willing to bank on the fact that you didn't just call him 85 times. Could you imagine how fucking annoying that would be? I know. I know someone that happens to him. And you know what? You want to know his reaction? The same fucking thing. It's fucking exhausting. It's annoying. And he gets mad every time. And block. Block, block, block. Yeah. So you need to stop doing that. That was everything you did was force the 3D. Everything you did was force the 3D. You can't do that. Please stop doing that. Please stop doing that. Thank you so much. Okay, so no more. You see, I didn't even have to say anything. I didn't have to say anything. You see everybody else's reaction to the 85 times? They're like, 85 times? 85? Yeah, you see everybody's reaction to the 85. Yeah, they were like, damn. Yeah, Betty. You see? I mean, I just got to go down and read some of the other comments and then before I address it, because that had me dying. That had me dying when everybody were like, huh? Yeah, Taylor, Taylor. Yeah, see? Even her dad blocked her ex because he tried calling profusely. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. And we're not laughing at you, okay? Like, we're not laughing at you because the only reason we laugh, Glam, honestly, is because you're very specific with the number, right? But if people were to be honest with themselves and be like, well, okay, how many times after my SP and I broke up did I call him? It's probably about 85 times. Maybe just not a day, but it was probably 85 times. So we're not laughing at you. We're laughing at the action. And the only reason for that is because everyone's tried to force a 3D. Maybe not to that degree or that magnitude, but everyone in their own way tried to force the 3D at some point, right? Some people drive to the house, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people go to their job, right? Like, I've heard it all. I've heard any way you could possibly think of forcing the 3D, I've heard it, I've seen it, I've heard it all. Okay, so what you did is, it's extreme, but this is what we do, but we don't know any better, okay? But now we're just gonna take a step back, learn from it, not force the 3D, so we could be like, I'm gonna go get him back. And I don't need to force the 3D anymore. I don't need to call, beg, and plead. I don't need to argue with his ass. Like, I don't need to do none of that shit. I don't need to prove my point. I don't need to do none of that. Glam, don't feel bad about sharing it, okay? Because like I told you, people have done way out shit to try and force the 3D, right? So you're not alone. You're not alone. There's only one reason why most people get blocked on social media, right? Or get blocked in general, because they repeatedly tried contacting their SP. So the only reason why people are saying that is because you are very specific in the number, okay? Versus, it's easy to laugh at somebody else, but if they were to think about it and be like, well, I was a little excessive myself, you know, not me personally, but they were a little excessive themselves and been like, yeah, I did call him a lot. I maybe didn't call him 85 times, but I probably sent him about 85 text messages. Or if I was to combine how many times I called with the text, yeah, it's probably over 85 times, right? so it's, and combined with the social media contact too, yeah, it's probably over 85 times, right? So it's not a big deal. What you need to do is learn from it though, okay? You need to learn from it and say, yeah, not the vibe. That obviously did not work out and did not work out in my favor. So I'm gonna wrap that shit up. We're gonna pretend like that didn't happen and I'm gonna move on, right? I'm gonna move forward and say, no, I'm not gonna force a 3D anymore. I don't need to verbally communicate anything. I don't need to argue with this man. I don't need to say mean and hateful things to him. I don't need to do any of that, okay? Because in here is where I'm in control. And I control his thoughts. So what do I want to assume he's thinking, right? I'm thinking he's over that shit. He's over it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's totally over it. I'm not worried about shit at all. You know? Because then you'll understand. I'm sure he did, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine. What I want you to not do is focus on that, okay? Yeah. Don't focus on that. Okay, don't focus on that at all. Instead, focus on contact. No, he's over that shit. You have to see him as the perfect boyfriend. You can't go off of what he said to you. You can't do any of that. You have to see him as the perfect boyfriend for you. Okay, and he will be. But you have to see that version of him. And then you have to describe him in that way and then affirm for, you know, we'll start with contact. We'll start with contact. Okay? And so let's just do that. Okay, so don't beat yourself up. You're not hoping for shit, Graham. You're going to get. Okay? You're going to get. All right, hold the questions, okay? We're going to do the energy cord cutting. Here you go, Glam. You'll benefit from this, okay? You'll benefit from this now, Glam. Because you're going to cut the old energy. You're going to cut, hello, Just Julie. You're going to cut the old energy with SP right now. So therefore, don't worry about the 85 times you contact them. Don't worry about that shit, okay? Because now you have stale energy, okay, between you and SP. So it's the perfect time for you now to cut that energy so that you're not cutting the energy with your SP. You're cutting the old energy with SP, okay? So when we do this exercise that we're going to do now, it's designed to clear out that air, to clear out that energy so that it's fresh energy, it's new energy, it's positive energy between you and your SP. So therefore, because what's going to happen is your SP is going to think about you. However, when he thinks about you, it's a bit different than when he thought about you the last time. Because there's new energy, so you will pop into his mind. But this time when he thinks about you, he's going to be like, something's different, right? He will get a sense that something is different because your energy is connected always, okay? So if you don't cut the energy, then it just compounds over time. So by breaking that energy is fresh new energy, fresh new, no ill energy towards you guys. Okay, when I did this on an ex. I went from no contact to him freaking contact. I hadn't talked to him in 8 years. And all of a sudden he contacted me in 72 hours, like, hey, how you doing? Just thought about you. I wasn't trying to manifest him back, so I was like, yeah. And don't need to cut that energy cord again. So that's what we're going to do here, okay? Yeah, it only cuts the bad energy. Yeah, it only cuts the bad energy. So it's like, I do this with my daughter. Absolutely. You can do this all the time. I do this with my daughter every week. Okay, you should do it with anybody. Because what's going to happen is, well, yes, you will, blessing girl. Yes, you will. There's your psychic reading for the day. You are absolutely going to get back together. So good, I am, guys. I'm telling you. And yeah, that is your psychic reading. Okay, so that's where I need you guys to understand that we are going. See, Christina knows. We all learned. Have you guys learned nothing? Blessing girl, yes, you will get back together with your SP. Okay? But I'm dead serious. And I am the best psychic reader in the fucking world. I'm world renowned for the psychic readings. So you should definitely listen to my psychic reading because it will be 100% be true for you. I only laugh because I'm fucking good at it. All right. Yes, we're going to go ahead and do it together. Okay. So I want you guys to get in a nice, comfortable spot. Okay. Don't have to lay down. Just a nice little comfy little cozy spot. Okay. And I want you to close your eyes. I'll give you one in a minute, AJ. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths in and out. Now I want you to imagine, just for a moment, that you're in a theater, a dark theater. And you're completely alone in this theater. And as you're sitting in the middle of this theater, you notice that there's a giant stage in front of you. And on this stage, there's a single light, like a stage light, that goes from the ceiling of the stage, that goes from the ceiling of the building down to the center of the stage. I want you to start to stare into that light. And as you stare into that light, you start to notice that you're not alone. You can see a dark, shadowy figure off into the back, out of the light, and into the back of the stage. And as you shift your focus to the shadowy figure, you start to realize that that person is your SP. Now I want you to use your SP's name, and you're going to call your SP to the center of the stage and into the light. Do that now. Now, as your SP steps into the light, you start to notice his facial features. You can notice his physical features. If you can't make out everything, that's okay. Just know it's your SP. And you also notice that there's a gold cord that runs from your third eye into his third eye. Now I want you to ask your SP these 2 questions, and I want you to hear them respond. If you can hear their voice, that's great. If you can't, that's okay too. Okay, but I want you to hear them say, I want you to ask them now, do you support me? Hear your SP tell you, yes. Now ask him, do you love me? Also hear your SP tell you yes. Now I want you to say these 4 phrases to your SP. This time, you don't hear them respond. It's you talking to your SP. I want you right now to tell your SP, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now I want you to reach up with your hand as if it is a pair of scissors. And I want you to cut the gold cord that comes from your third eye. Now, as you cut that gold cord and it starts to fall to the floor, I want you to reach up with your other hand and I want you to grab the roots of that gold cord and I want you to pull it out of your third eye and just toss it aside. Now, as that gold cord continues to fall to the floor, your SP starts to float away like a balloon. And as he floats away like a balloon, he gets smaller and smaller and farther and farther and smaller and smaller and smaller until he just disappears. Now take a deep breath in and out and open up your eyes. That's it. You can do this as often as you like. If you are new here, send me a message, Joe. If you are new here, then I do have the video where I walk you through this exercise. We do this every day on my lives, but I do walk you through this exercise. If you go to my profile, you'll see the 3 red, I have saw a trilogy of red t-shirt videos. It's towards the top. And it's the first of the 3 red shirts. Got it, girlfriend. Okay, so it's the first of the 3 red shirts. Okay, so that's where I walk you through this exercise. Now the exercise that we're about to do is the photo method. Also, again, if you are new here, the photo method is also on my profile. It's pinned to the top of my profile. It's got 40,000 views now. Good looking out. So you can go ahead and click that and save those videos, because these are the 2 methods we do every day here. Okay, the photo method works very well. So does the energy clearing. Okay. So we're going to get busy doing that. Okay. So also, before we get started, if you're interested in having me manifest your SP for you, or you want one-on-one coaching with me so that we can talk about your SP, recreate them on the spot and where you're going wrong so you can get it right, then all the links are in the bio or description, wherever you're watching from. Okay. Also, I have an upcoming live event where I'm going to help you remove your negative beliefs, or negative emotions, excuse me. I could walk you. You know what? It would be a longer masterclass though. It would be a longer live event if I walked you through how to release your negative emotions and your negative beliefs. I actually know how to do that too. Anyway, you guess I'll decide if I'm going to do that. If I don't, I may do because it's actually pre-recorded. I think. Yeah, it's pre-recorded. I would throw, maybe I'll throw those in. I'll throw that. I have to look and see what version, how old it is. I mean, the shit hasn't changed, but if it's newer recorded, then I'll throw that in as a bonus for you. So you can actually get started on that shit right away. Yeah, I just decided now. So it's going to be removing your negative emotions, but as a bonus for anyone who signs up, I will throw in a course, if you will, on releasing your negative beliefs. That is not it's actually a very simple process. So I'll actually walk you through on that too. Okay? I try to help you guys out, shit. I could charge for that course, but for what? I'll just give it to you if you join the live event. The live event's only $20, okay? I also have a free WhatsApp community if you want WhatsApp community. All links are in my bio, all right? So go ahead and handle your scandal, okay? The amount of testimonials I have from people who I've been teaching this for less than 2 months is I have hundreds of them, okay? And it's surpassed a lot of people that have been doing this shit for years, okay? Also, I go live every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. If you ever miss a live event, it's going to be April 4th, but it will be recorded and you will have lifetime access. Everyone gets lifetime access to the recording because I want you guys to be able to do this over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So you guys will have that. And it's a Saturday. So that'll be the one day I only go live for an hour. But anyway, if you ever catch me, if you ever miss my live, head on over to YouTube and subscribe while you're there and watch my long ass lives. Play them, get the volume, I don't care. Help me get more watch hours up so I can help more people leverage the law of assumption to get everything that they want, because I'm good at it all. It's in my bio, Christina. If you want weight loss, I lost over 100 pounds in less than a year, no diet, no exercise. That's how I got my start in the manifestation community. I've done business success. I've helped over 82 entrepreneurs. I also had to get to 7 figures in less than 3 years. I also have had 2 wildly successful businesses in the past. Also, I've manifested boatloads of money, so I only teach on what I know about, and I've actually successfully manifested, which, is what makes me different from a lot of these people on the fucking internet. They love to teach about shit that they haven't done. So, you know what, Brahma? I already bitched once today. I have no problem bitching at you again. That's what I love about you. Mary. That's a good one. I'm going to do that to myself. I'm going to do that to myself because I don't know if you can hear that. I have a dislocated jaw. I think that's what it is. I'll just assume that's what it is. But I have a actually perfectly normal jaw now. It's from when I was in an abusive relationship. I ran into him 5 years later or so. It's like a long ass time later. And he's like, "Do you ever think of me?" And I was like, "Yeah, every time I eat." Or open my fucking mouth, bitch. Anyway, okay. Let's go ahead and do the photo method, okay? So get your photos of your SPs out, okay? Get your photos of your SPs out right now. And we're gonna go down memory lane for just a brief hot second. Okay, so we're gonna go down memory lane for just a second. I want you to go back in time in your relationship when everything was perfect. When everything was perfect, right? You had your perfect person. I want you to remember, yeah, if you guys signed up for the live event, on a side note real quick, I'm gonna hold your questions. Lisa, I want you to talk. For the photo method, I want you to talk to him today. Okay? I just want you to talk to him today. I know, Diamond, that's why I'm trying to get started with this guy. Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom and I got to dip in about 45 minutes. Okay? Oh yeah, give me 2 days because I have to look at the limiting beliefs course that I have pre-recorded. Give me 2 days and I'll send that all to you. So you'll all have a copy of that course, okay? That you guys can start, removing the limiting beliefs, today. Okay, so I want you to go down memory lane right now with your SP. And I want you to remember a time in your relationship with your SP when everything was perfect. When everything was perfect. I want you to remember, just take 20 seconds to remember who your SP was for you. How did he make you feel? How did he treat you? What are the things that he did for you, right? Who was he as a person for you? Remember that version of your SP right now. Now I want you to hold on to that version of your SP. Forget who they were 5 seconds ago. That's no longer who they are today. I want you to hold on to the version of your SP that was perfect, checked all the boxes. And I want you to bring that version of your SP into your current reality, into your 3D now. That is now who your SP is for you. Right now. Accept it. Know it. That your perfect SP is here with you right now. The one who wants to talk to you all the time, who's constantly wanting to spend time with you, who wants to be with you, who will do anything to be with you right now, who wants nothing more than to love you. That version of your SP is here right now. I need you to start expecting different behavior from your SP. If you would hold on to this version of your SP from now and into the future, then you will keep them here. Then if you're holding on to this version of the SP right now, then you will expect them to contact you. Specific person. You would expect them to contact you. You would expect them to want to see you, to want to be with you. Because when you're a perfect person, when you first met your perfect person, and you had that version, you never questioned if you were going to talk to them today, if they were going to come see you, if they wanted to be with you. You never questioned any of that. So right now, moving forward, we're not going to question that anymore. Because you never did then, and now your perfect version, your perfect SP is here with you now, so there's nothing to question. If you are new here, I want you to put on your crown. Brahma, shut the fuck up. If you are not new here, I want you to straighten your crown. Because here, we don't take our crowns off. We wear them 24/7. We get what we want, and we get it when we want it. So I want you right now to remind yourself who the fuck you are. When kings and queens give commands, do they ever question, doubt, check to see if their command is being fulfilled? No. They don't have to check. They don't need to do any of that. They just know, they expect for their command to be fulfilled because they're the queen, they're the king, and they'll do what you say. So right now, you're going to expect contact. If you are alone, you're going to say this out loud with a little bit of backbone. If you're not alone, you say it in your mind, okay? Where Lisa, I want you right now to vent. Not to his photo. I want you to vent and let it out and then move forward. Do it now. For everyone else, I want you to take a look at your SP's photo. Okay? Now, I want you to look at your SP's photo and I want you to give your commands. I want you to tell them if you're in no contact or you're in contact but it is not consistent contact, then I want you to command contact. You're contacting me right now. You can say you're contacting me or texting me or calling me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? However they contact you, it will happen naturally. Okay? So you say, you're texting me right now. You are texting me right now. You're texting me right now. You're texting me right now. You're texting me right now. Okay? If you're in constant contact, then you have you can do whatever. You can say, you can tell them they're contacting you right now. Matthew, Bessie, what the fuck is going on? You can say they're contacting yes, flashy. Yes, you're seeing me today. Yes, not the mailbox. If you're in constant contact, then you can either say they're contacting you right now just to prove your power, or you can say, or you can move to the next step and say, you're coming to see me today. You're coming to see me today. You're coming to see me today. Okay. Now, if you are in a situationship or relationship or whatever you want to call it, okay, I'll address you right after this, Matthew, okay? So hang around or come back in a couple minutes. So whatever you want to, so if you're in a situationship or relationship with this person, then have fun with it. You can tell them whatever you want. You're bringing me dinner tonight. You're bringing me dinner tonight. You're cooking dinner for me tonight. You're taking me on a date tonight. You're buying me flowers today. You're rubbing my feet tonight. You're giving me sexy time tonight. You know, whatever you want. Whatever you want. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. Okay? You need to expect this behavior from your SP, and you're going to start doing it now. Okay? You're going to start doing it now. There you go, Diamond. You're bringing my $1,000 back, bitch. All right. So start to give your commands. Do it now and expect them to text you. And we're back. Okay. So now expect them to contact you. You need to expect this behavior from your SPs. You need to expect everything from your SPs, honestly. It shouldn't be that difficult to expect something different from your SP. Thanks, baby girl. Because your SP is waiting for you to let them be that person for you. You need to stop putting pressure on it. Stop putting pressure on it. Stop making excuses. Stop beating yourself up over it. Stop attacking yourself. You need to stop doing that. You need to dust your shit off and move forward and persist and persist and persist. And you will get what you want. You know, Damien, there's never a coincidence that you saw your SP on the street today. Okay? That's movement. So we persist through it. Okay? We persist through it, and that's a sign. That's a sign. That is a sign. I was on the phone earlier with somebody that said that she was driving down the street and she was going one way, her SP was going the opposite direction. Well, what's the chance that they both happen to see each other? Was that with you? Yeah, of course, Joe. I'll make time for you. I'll make time for you. Likely tomorrow, though. But we'll see. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do it for my book. I'm going to become a millionaire with my book, just like my SP. Yep, there you go. Okay, hold on. That's right. Start new hobbies. Start doing something. All right. Let's see here. Okay, Matthew. You need to stop. There's your advice. You need to stop. You need to persist in only what you want. And only what you want. Okay, you need to see yourself as the baddest motherfucker in town. Like, dude, I'm bad as shit. I'm hot. Like, I'm hot. I'm the prize. I am the prize. Whoever I want wants me even more. You need to see yourself as that man, as the perfect boyfriend. Because when you see yourself as the perfect boyfriend, then it's contagious. Okay, they see you the same way. You know, and you should not have a hard time doing that because you were. Okay? So you need to discipline yourself. It's okay if you have a negative moment. That's where you leverage the delay and say, no, there's a delay in the 3D. So I'm going to flip this shit around and I'm going to do it now. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to flip it around. Because when you do that, then things change. Then things change. Then things change. Okay? Yeah, I mean, what's the chance that you're like on a street and your ex just walks by? Or your SP, excuse me, we don't call them exes. Okay, so you need to persist in that analogy and say, hey, no, it's okay. I'm human, but I'm going to flip it and I'm going to affirm. This is where we affirm. Okay, so if your negative thought, flip it. If you have more than one negative thought, just affirm, just affirm, just affirm. You know, I do that all the time. Why? Because it keeps my mind in check. It keeps my mind in check. And like, you don't think I affirm for me and my boyfriend still? Yeah, I do. Of course I do. Right? So why not? That's what you have to do. It's just the natural part of life. Because you're focusing your attention on what you want. Okay? And so you need to give yourself some grace. You need to pick yourself up. And you need to persist forward and be like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm going to go get what I want. And we'll get it when I want it. And I'm going to persist through it because if I waver, it's all right. It's all right. I'm going to push through it. I'm going to continue on my journey because I'm doing this for me and only me, and I'm not going to justify shit. I'm not going to give fucking excuses. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to course correct, pick myself up, and persist forward. Because when you do that, then you wind up like somebody in my inbox that just sent me a message a couple minutes ago that says I've been getting a lot of progress. Then you end up being that person that gets a lot of progress because you persist. Okay, but what you guys need to stop doing is stop saying you fucked it up. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. If you would not even acknowledge that, if you would not even acknowledge screwing it up or time or any of that, if you would just act like that shit is irrelevant, you would never screw anything up. You just pick yourself up, forget about yesterday, I don't care if you had a horrible night. Just forget about it. Be like, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Everything is good. Everything's great. Then you didn't screw anything up. But instead, you guys will spiral and be like, I've been having a down day. You get attention for it. Then what? Then now you're having another down day. Get more attention for it. Now you're having another down. You got to stop doing that shit. Instead, okay, I did this. Lesson learned. Move forward. Okay, I just slipped back again. That's fine. Move forward. Move forward. Move forward. Move forward. And you'll get more of move forward behavior instead of moving backwards behavior. Okay? And that's what we're going to do from this point forward. We are only moving forward. The cars only drive in one direction for a fucking reason unless you're getting out of a parking spot. Okay? You don't drive down the highway backwards. So why on earth would you drive your mind backwards? Why would you drive your life backwards? No. We push forward. And nothing will change. Everything will be right back on track and moving fucking forward. Could you please talk about the importance of being present? Well, yeah, the importance of being present is forgetting about the past, right? It's like, why dwell on the past when you have no ability to change the past? Yeah, sure, you can revise, right? You can revise, but that's the only way you're going to change the past. So why dwell on that shit when you have nothing to benefit from that versus saying, no, I'm not even going to think about that shit anymore. I'm just going to focus on the present moment and what I want presently today. Forget what happened. I don't need to go down memory rabbit hole and replay old conversations that don't benefit me, old movies like a horror flick. I don't need to do any of that. Instead, I will only choose to remember the great things that we have together, and I will be more present in the moment. I don't need to worry about anything. I have the power to create my reality today. There is no future. Right? So it's like, okay, it only, to the point of now, today is all that matters in being present. So it's like, what I do today determines what shows up in my reality tomorrow, which tomorrow is today, right? So you just focus on the point of now and changing now so that tomorrow, which will then be now, changes with that. Okay, it doesn't do any good by going down and having all these past regrets throughout your entire life. That's not going to help you. You'd have to revise a whole lot of shit. Versus, you could say everything in my life. You can all say everything in my life has always been perfect. That revises the whole past. Okay, like you've never had any problems, right? You can say everything in my life is perfect, is present, right? But again, everything in my life has always been perfect implies exactly that. You've never had any problems. We've always been together implies you never had a breakup, right? So that's the way I prefer revision. I don't do I never understood the whole visualizing a different scene to me. That was really hard to do because I'm not a huge visualizer. So that I never got. Instead of saying affirmations, that would imply something different through the course of your life. That I think is, because if we can affirm for one thing, right? It's about leveraging and saying, if we can affirm for one thing, then why can't we if we can affirm for something to show up today, then why can't we affirm to change the past so that nothing bothers you anymore, because there's no past regrets. For what? Everything in your life has always been perfect. There's nothing to regret. You know, we've always been together, meaning I never had a breakup. What breakup? See what I'm saying? For how long or how often, Priya, for how long or how often do you say your affirmations for? That's entirely up to you. I won't say, nice, Christina. I won't say that you, I won't say, I love you, Matthew. I won't say you have to affirm your life away, right? Because I don't want to create assumptions in you that if I don't affirm 10,000 fucking times a day, then I ain't getting shit. This is why I'm not saying movement. And then now that becomes a new excuse for you. No, not at all. If you don't think against what you want, then you don't necessarily have to affirm. But that's not the case for most of you. For most of you, when you have free time, then your mind free roams and it goes down memory lane about all the shit that you don't want or about your current reality, and that goes against what you're manifesting. So if that's the case, then you affirm. I affirm a lot, but it's not something that I have to remember. It's not something that I try to do. Like, you know, like, oh, I have to try to affirm today. I just do it naturally. You know, so I was making breakfast this morning and I was affirming because I was making breakfast. It's just, I wake up and I, you know, hop in the shower, I'm getting ready for the day, and I'm affirming the whole damn time. I affirm when I go on social media. You know, I affirm throughout my day. When I walk to the bathroom, I'll affirm. Why not? Who cares? You know, and it doesn't necessarily mean that my mind is going somewhere else. I just like to affirm. For me, I feel like my mind can't go somewhere else if I just affirm. And so that's just something that I've done, and I just like to do it. And I do it as often as possible, literally throughout the day. And then I fall asleep with that one affirmation, playing on a loop in my mind. That's it. That's all. So if you don't have thoughts that go against it, or you're not thinking of stories that aren't fucking true or beneficial to you, then you would affirm, right? Or you could just flip the thoughts as they come up. I like to affirm and cram that shit in there, okay? But I won't tell you how often. I suggest you have some kind of structured routine, you know, but really just making sure that you're checking every thought if it goes against what you want, then you flip it. A male friend of mine constantly worries about me getting hurt emotionally by my SP. Is that normal? Yes, it is, Jackie. Okay. It is, yes, Jackie, it's normal oftentimes because when you complain, whenever you and SP have a problem, who do you go to? You got to talk to somebody about it, right? So you talk to your friends about it. And then when the breakup happens, oh, you really give your friends the lowdown, right? And that's typically all your friends ever hear when it comes to you and your SP is all the bullshit. Because you don't call your friend up on a Tuesday like, hey, just so you know, me and SP, we're doing great today. Everything is solid. All right, bye. You don't do that. Right? Usually, though, you can't wait to call your friends when you're like, this motherfucker. You're not going to believe what he said. Right? And so that's all they hear. Plus, then the breakup happens. And who's there to console you? Often it's your friends. And now they get to see you emotional and going through the breakup. And then when you say that you're getting back together with your SP, then they're like, Now they want to tell you their opinion, right? But their opinion is it's you. Yeah, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it right after I'm off with this, Lisa. Okay, it's only you. Okay, because their opinion, you created their assumptions, if you will, on your SP, right? So now you're like, what do you mean you don't like him? Well, bitch, all you've done is bitch about this man, and I've seen him hurt your feelings. I've seen you cry over and over and over when it comes to him. So their assumptions of your SP are not a good guy. Not a good guy for you, right? He's going to hurt you again. He's going to do this, that, and the third, because that's their assumption. Okay? So you need to stop doing that. Monica. Well, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of weight loss videos on there. Okay? But the first thing you have to understand when it comes to weight loss is that your body only answers to one entity, and that is your mind. It does not answer to anything but your mind. Okay? Your body, it's kind of, so when your mind shuts down, your body stops functioning because it's no longer taking that instruction from your mind, right? The mind and body are very much connected. So if you want to lose weight quickly, then you need to start telling yourself that, well, you can say what I said. I lose weight. I can eat whatever I want and I lose weight. I can eat whatever I want and I lose weight, right? You can tell yourself that because your body has no idea if a carrot is good or bad for you. It has no idea. It only knows what you tell yourself. So if you go to McDonald's and you think McDonald's is awful for you, well, your body will respond accordingly. But if you were to go to McDonald's and be like, yeah, McDonald's is super healthy for me. This is super healthy. Everything I eat is healthy. Your body will respond accordingly because it doesn't know. It doesn't know. It doesn't know if chocolate's good for you or a carrot's good for you. It only knows what you tell yourself. Okay? And so there's that part. So, or you can just tell yourself every day. Every day I wake up 1 pound lighter. I lose 1 pound every single day. I lose a pound every single day. I lose 2 pounds every single day. You can tell yourself that. The scale will also start to reflect that. Okay? And then when it comes to you walking in front of the mirror, this is where I tell people that this is where you should, even though you don't like, your subconscious mind does not have eyes. It only, again, knows what you tell yourself. Okay, so it doesn't know what you're looking at in the mirror. It doesn't. It only knows what you tell yourself. So if you're going to tell yourself that, yeah, I'm fat, I got a big old stomach, I'm bloated, like all of that stuff, that's all it knows. So therefore, it doesn't matter what you eat. Your identity and what you're telling yourself is you're fat. I used to do this, okay? And so when you do that, guess what happens? You stay that way. I could eat a salad for the day and it didn't fucking matter because I was calling myself fat. And just like weight loss, just like anything else, identities are at the hierarchy of change, okay? What you identify as, the I am statements. So if you call yourself overweight, I am overweight, I am fat, your body has to stay that way because that's at the hierarchy of change. However, if you would start to call yourself something different, like, damn, I am so fucking sexy. Healthy to me was not a thing for an identity because I didn't view myself as an unhealthy person. Because I would go to the doctor and they'd be like, you're healthy, you're just morbidly obese. I was like, love that for me. And so I would call myself fat because I thought if I called myself fat, that it wouldn't hurt my feelings if someone else called me fat. And although that was true, it protected my feelings because my brother loved to call me fat. It still didn't help me, right? It didn't help my body and nothing changed. So instead, I started calling myself sexy, beautiful. Like, I'm fucking sexy. Like, I look just like a supermodel. Thanks, Amanda girl. And when you tell yourself that, well, Your subconscious mind doesn't have eyes. So if you keep telling yourself that every time you go in front of the mirror, just tell yourself like, damn, I'm hot. I'm sexy as fuck. I have the perfect body. Your body will start to change because it has to match your assumptions. It has to match what you're constantly telling yourself. So that's what I would do, because I lost over 100 pounds in 11 months, no diet, no exercise. That's how I got my start in the manifestation community. So I have a shit ton of content on YouTube all about weight loss. Go watch this. It works. I'll show you how to lose weight eating whatever the fuck you want. Chinese food, Subway, bread, pasta, tacos. But you'll notice one rising trend in all those videos. All boils down to what the fuck you tell yourself. Yeah, Dawn, I think you should affirm for more than one thing at a time, always, always. I would affirm for 3 or 4 things at a time. Yeah, I would affirm for 3 or 4 things at a time because one, and that's what you guys have to understand is you don't necessarily have to, in order to kill the dead airspace, like let's say that you're thinking about your SP in a negative way, right? You can flip the thought, of course. Right? You should flip the thought, but you don't necessarily have to only affirm for SP. You can literally affirm for whatever the fuck you want. Because if you're affirming for, we'll say, weight loss or money, you're still thinking about weight loss or money when you're affirming, so you're not thinking negatively about SP. You can't have 2 thoughts at the same damn time. So if you're affirming for money, I'm so rich, I'm so rich, I'm so rich, I'm so rich, you're not thinking about SP, right? Because you're affirming for money. Doesn't mean your SP is not coming. It just means that you're not, you don't have to only think about SP all day long and flip those thoughts. It's like, no, you can literally be affirming for weight loss, better health, money, business success, an appearance change. You can literally be affirming for any of those things and it will still kill the dead airspace when it comes to SP. Okay, because you're not thinking and speaking against what you're affirming for. You're affirming for something else too at the same damn time. Okay, so I did like 3 or 4 things at the same time. Obviously, a majority of it was for SP, but it didn't mean that I wasn't also affirming for other things at the same time. I absolutely was. Because during this time when I was manifesting my SP back is when I got hit with the cholesterol level deal, right? And so I was, what, a year ago? It was a year ago. So I was affirming for that at the same time. And then I was also affirming for money, right? So different things at the same time as SP. It's just SP was at the hierarchy. I wouldn't say go around and affirm for 25,000 things. Yeah, at the same time, because it's about saturating your mind, right? Oh, thank you, DPayur. It's about saturating your mind. So if you're not saturating your mind consistently with anything, then it takes a little bit of time to step into the assumption of it, unless you can just start assuming you have it. Okay, and that's a lot of your guys' problems. Is some of you guys be thinking way too into the shit. You be reading way too into it. You know, where if you would just sit there and say, thanks, girly pop. Okay, here's what I want you guys to do. Why don't you sit here for the weekend, right? It's what, Saturday. Okay, so why don't we sit here for the weekend? And why don't you just play a game with yourself? Since you love to play games with yourself any fucking way. But at least you're going to play games with yourself that are going to, you know, damn, I always get through a shit ton of comments. Anyway, you're going to play a game with yourself. But this time, you're going to play a little game with yourself on that's going to, you know, benefit you instead of playing games with your fucking emotions and shit. You know what I'm saying? So instead of doing that, why don't we go ahead and play a little game that benefits you? So I want you to, right now, sit there and for the next, through the weekend, I want you to just decide, just know, right? Just know, just relax. Relax. I'm not saying drop everything, okay? Because you still have to saturate, you still have to focus on what you want. But why don't you just for a little bit, just for the weekend, just sit there and say, you know what? I'm going to decide that me and my SP are together. I'm going to decide that right now, that me and my SP are together. And I'm going to go around, and anytime I think about him, I will think about him only as perfect boyfriend. And I'm just going to know. I'm just going to know. And I'm going to tell myself that, no, I know we're together. I know we're together right now. I know we're together right now. I know we're together right now. And just tell yourself that for the next 48 hours. Just be in the knowing that your manifestation is coming. Welcome to the family, Allie. Looking forward to talking to you, girl. Okay, just be in the knowing and just decide that I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't have to try. I'm deciding right now, I don't have to try. I don't have to try. I'm going to release the resistance. I'm not going to try anymore, and I'm just going to decide that this is working. That it's conforming, that my 3D is conforming right now. And that's what I'm going to know. I'm going to just trust myself. That's right. That's right, Flashy. And nope, he's coming home now. And I'm just going to know that. I'm going to know, I know that he's coming home right now. That's it. That's all I have to know. Is that me and my man are together. That we're getting together. We're getting back together right now. I'm just going to know that. No. Natalie. I find it's a lot harder to do that, okay, versus saying, I'm going to just decide that she's gone. But I'm going to tell myself that, like, no, she's gone away. She's gone away. She's gone away. Only if you think about her, she's gone away. Okay? If you're not thinking about her, then don't force yourself to think about her. But be like, no, she's gone away. I'm just going to decide that I am the technique. I don't need a goddamn technique. I am the technique, and I get whatever the fuck I want, and I get what I want it. And I'm going to decide that right now. So I'm going to decide now that I'm the creator of my reality, and I could have, be, and do whatever I want. So I'm just going to decide that shit right now. Thanks, user. That's all I'm going to decide. I'm going to decide that right now. That I get what I want, and I get it when I want it. I'm going to decide that right now. I'm not going to try anymore. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to know for the next 48 hours. And I will flip my thoughts when they come up. I'll do my affirmations, but I don't need to check. I'm not going to check shit for the next 48 hours because there's nothing to check. Last time I checked, I don't need to check if I'm in a relationship still with my SP. There's nothing to check. So I'm not going to check. I'm just going to know that this is working. In the next 48 hours, I won't be checking. There's nothing, because there's nothing to try. I don't need to check. I don't need to check. Ren, if you mention being blocked one more fucking time, you're not new here. Bitch. Pot, how long it takes to manifest an SP is entirely up to you. I've had somebody manifest her. It shouldn't even come on my lives anymore. Fuck her. I'm just kidding. When I first started this, she went from no contact to in a full relationship with her SP in 4 days. Somebody else, when I was working with her, she went from being told, there's never going to be a you and I anymore, get over it, move on, to back in a complete relationship with her and living together in 2 weeks. Okay, there are other people. I've had somebody in complete no contact for a month and a half that just spent 2 glorious weekends with her SP. Okay, and now they're planning to move together. You know, there's a lot of people getting significant movement. How long it takes is up to you on when you will stop wavering. Thanks, Angela girl. Okay, it's how long it takes is for you to lock the shit in. You should see movement from your SP in less than 72 hours. If you would just lock it in. And say, that's it. I'm done with the fucking games. The games I've been playing with myself. I'm done with that shit. I ain't doing that shit anymore. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get it when I want it. Like, you know, right now. I don't wait for shit. I don't wait for shit. So because I don't wait for shit, I ain't going to waver. I'm going to expect it to come when I say it's going to come. And so because I expect it to come, what is there to waver about? And to answer your question, Ren, yes, because she was my very first success story. I didn't even offer coaching yet. Okay? The one that got her SP back in 4 days? Yeah. I didn't offer coaching yet. I think it was like, I think I was doing the lives for like fucking a week. Some shit like that. Yeah. As CGG, you have to lock it in by doing affirming, but also seeing your SP in the way that you want them and expect them to be for you. If you would start seeing, if you're having a hard time seeing your SP as a perfect boyfriend, then why don't you start with just seeing your SP as being a great person? Why don't you start there with seeing your SP being a great person? Thanks, Angela girl. It's all you, girl. And a little bit of help from me. But if you should see your SP as being a good person. If you would see them being a good person, they would contact you. That's what good people fucking do. They'd be nice to you, cordial to you, right? They'd be doing all those things because you think they're a good person. Just start there. If you can't see them being a perfect boyfriend, which I don't see the problem with that. I really don't. The only way I know that you're not seeing them as perfect boyfriend is because you're harping on all the shit I told you not to harp on. The past. If you would drop that shit, then guess what? Thanks, Mel girl. They'd be a fucking good person. They'd be a perfect boyfriend. And that's what frustrates me. I'm not going to yell again because I got to go in a second. But that's honestly what frustrates me with you guys is you will say you want your SP back, right? Yeah, I want my SP back. And I'll be like, talk to me about it. Describe. You'll say all the great things. Some of you guys, though, will be like, I'll be like, describe your relationship. And you'll like, or I'll say, describe them. And you guys will like get stuck halfway through and start describing all the shit that you didn't like. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what? And often, a lot of the ways you guys describe your SPs is like, they're like a dating profile. It's like a dating profile. They're adventurous. They love to cook. Like, you know what I'm saying? They really love the outdoors. Like a dating profile. No. What is that? What is that? That's a dating profile. It's not what makes them a great fucking person for you, right? A perfect version of your SP for you. And so you guys will literally just sit there and bitch and be like, well, how do I see them that way? I don't fucking know. Why don't you ask yourself, why are you manifesting your SP back if you think he's a fucking dick? And he's rude and avoidant and arrogant and an asshole. Well, then why the hell would you, what's it say about you? Why on earth would you want to manifest somebody like that? You know that you don't. So why do you choose to see them like that? Instead, it's like, well, why do I want to manifest my SP back? Because he's fucking perfect. Because I love him. Because he's great. He's everything I've ever wanted. Like all that stuff. Okay, great. Then why don't you hold on to that fucking version? Because that's why you want to manifest your SP back. But why do you want to manifest your SP back, but all you want to do is bitch about him the whole time? That's fucking stupid. That's like the dumbest thing that's insanity. I certainly wouldn't want to do that. That's as stupid as wanting your business to be a success, but all you can do is bitch about being broke. And how nobody buys your stuff, and nobody likes you, nobody's buying your stuff, and you're just doing nothing but bitching all the time. But you're like, but I want my business to be a success. Well, then why are you bitching all the time about it? For what? For what? So that's the same analogy I need you guys to get a grip and understand. And seriously, seriously understand that you need to literally see them that way and that way only. Okay? Because the more you start to see that version of them, guess what they start to become? More of that for you. And you'll get more of that. For who? Oh, that's right. You. That's what you need to do. Do you understand? So, I need you to get a grip right now. I need you to, for the next 48 hours, you're going to lock it in. I will not waver. I want what I want bad enough. So, if I can push myself to not waver through the weekend, then it's inevitable. It's inevitable for you to get what you want. It's inevitable for you to get your SP, to see movement. It's inevitable for it. It's impossible for you not to. If you would lock it in and say, that's it, I won't waver. Nope. I'm going to trust myself, and I'm just going to know. I'm going to know this is happening, and it is happening now. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Nope. It's happening right now. And don't waver. Because it is like super, super, beneficial for you to do that. Okay? Okay. I have to jet because even though it's only 1:30 here, I have to go get ready. I'm having a date night tonight. We're having a date night. So I do have to get ready for that. Not really, but I have, to do some laundry and shit before date night. All right? Yes, Flashy, I will see you then. Bye, Ashley. Bye, everyone. Bye, Dawn. I love all of you. And of course, I will see you all tomorrow. Maybe, I'm not sure. Well, I know I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm just not sure the location yet. So, location on demand. We'll see. All right, guys. I love you, besties. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.